and save it to my Google Photos, so I have saved.
All 6 of them.
Yeah.
Do you have a Twitch account? I could stream on there.
I don't. Since I realized Google Photos lets you upload up to 10 gigs of video for free. And these are usually only like 3.
That's still not a lot of sections.
That's why when I asked for all my data from Google, it was like 47 gigs, because like 15 of them was just like videos of DNA.
This is
Wait,
now pretty similar.
Video
but a different
per
person.
upload?
Yeah, per video.
Any number of
any number.
Down
How
samples.
about if I go like this?
Okay, that's actually
It's still decent quality.
Yeah.
I can actually see the table pretty well now. I don't know what I'll do.
We'll get it closer.
Yeah, it works plenty well for me, I think. The microphone obscures a little bit of the map, but
we said we would move that.
there we go. That's great. Thank you guys for waiting on me. I'm sorry. I wasn't even supposed to work today, but when I got up, I had like 4 missed calls and 5 texts saying, "Hey, somebody's sick. Can you come in?" And then time and a half, and I said, "Okay."
Wrong
We were eating pizza until just a few minutes ago.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, I was even going to be home. Like, I gave myself an extra like 45 minutes just to make sure I'd be home. I could feed the baby, get everything set up, and all that sort of stuff. But, oh well, traffic doesn't care what my plans are.
Yeah, that's true.
I think this is actually a better view for the camera than normal, just because it's like higher up in the other room.
Yeah.
I can see all the people too. Like I can see everybody.
Except for me, because I'm over here.
Yeah, the DM you can't see, but you're not supposed to see the DM.
I mean, I can't see God, and I still believe He exists.
I can like set up a mirror over here.
That'd be weird. Oh no, video feed went out for a moment. You guys still have me?
Yeah.
Hello. Okay. Cool. All right. Good.
All right. So I guess we can go ahead and get started here.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. Everyone have? Do you have dice? Everyone have?
Oh, no.
everything?
You
I
have
got
all
dice.
of your
I don't know if you mind, but
resources
we kind of
set up. HP and hit dice and
they're really
what
cheap
else
on
do
Amazon.
you have?
Probably why.
Yep. Weighted towards the lower numbers.
What you need is a magnetic lens and then have a
3 dice.
roll.
That works.
Yeah.
For the really important
Yeah, those are better than my previous night's dice.
To get started here, this is the room. These are the stairs that you've come down, and you can essentially situate yourselves wherever you want. This is the shimmering thing that you saw, and this is the pedestal that seems to have some sort of white chalice.
These are the stairs.
But
Yeah, those are the stairs I revealed by pressing on that panel last time.
So last time you had followed up with Alad Rin after coming back from
I don't
the
plan to take point. Move me back a little bit.
from
Yeah, right there.
from the
What is our point?
flying harpies,
I feel like I should be further back.
flying sirens, I meant, and dealt with that issue, got compensated, and got Alad Rin to get you guys introduction to the order of the Eye, whatever that may entail. They sent you on a quest to investigate this old temple because there were dangerous things that they couldn't deal with in there, but may have some useful information. You delve through the dungeon, diving headlong into cubes and very effectively slaying a rug of smothering. And after encountering a room of shriekers, you heard a voice in your heads saying that you were invited to come visit. And after solving the end of the puzzles, the main fountain gave way to a spiral staircase that you then traveled down, and in so doing, you entered a large room And to redescribe what this room is like here, it's low lit. There's a couple of lightly magical looking like sconces on the walls, so you guys can see fine in here. But it doesn't look nearly as rough as did the above of the temple. Well preserved under the trapdoor. And there's a whole bunch of tapestries that you don't have time to go through just yet. But that the room is lined in them. And your first glance here is that there's a pedestal in the far end of the room that contains some sort of bronze, big bowl type structure, brazier, or a container of some kind, and a shimmer that you don't seem to really recognize it. You can see through it, but it looks fuzzy, akin to a mirage. So you kind of see it like the heat waves. It kind of looks like heat waves but it's a very visible distortion in the air. And surrounding the chalice type object is just a spread of yellowy orange goop, and
on the ground.
Yes, on the ground, and it's kind of just spread everywhere. Little tendrils going up, even up the walls a little bit, and so as you come into this room, bring out a toy.
Oh man!
Oh boy!
Here we go.
So I'm gonna show it to here first. Ooh.
That's good.
That's
What?
pretty cool.
It is.
It's a
This is-
monster
this is,
chalice thing.
This is bad.
Are those? I mean,
So coming through, basically apparating out of
yeah, I don't know what that is.
out
Oh,
of
that's
the.
it. I know what it is.
I know.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up here.
Actually, I have no idea what it is.
I feel like
I
everyone
mean,
is thinking beholder,
Yeah.
but it doesn't look that much like a beholder.
Maybe it's a baby
Does-
beholder.
does this
eye
piece,
stalks in a mouth.
do the
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, the whole thing that is connected to. There you go.
unintentionally break something?
I think you're good. Good.
Okay.
We can get
This
closer
is
if we
you.
need to.
Okay.
So I could. Would this actually be helpful just for Seth to see who he is? No,
And
makes
it blends
weird,
in
yeah.
with the.
No, I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
So
Seth, can you tell which character you are? Can you tell the mini part?
I think I'm okay. If you guys, I mean, if y'all want to be, if y'all want to move around on the die, it does make it slightly easier. But I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
We have a colorful ring.
Just paint you a vibrant orange.
yeah, I mean, I have a.
From my perspective, I'm the blackest one.
Yeah,
How about
I
that?
think that's true.
You have a red ring around you.
Okay, that's cool.
This is actually probably as collapsed as it goes.
That's fine. I
You
think
can
that's
down the floor.
this will work just fine.
With the mic over.
So as it appears through this this
I
this
know it's scary.
thing, it says, "Welcome to the lair of Lephantis." I'll give you guys seconds to open your notebooks.
LAFANTIS.
PH.
Jeez, Keeler.
And he says, what offerings have you come to bring me today, or what is your business?
Been sent here to seek knowledge. Right.
What sort of knowledge could that be?
Anything the world above doesn't know that we need to show them.
Well, I've been down here for, and he chuckles, quite some time. I can't tell how long it's been, so I really can't tell you what you're looking for.
What's the name of the book, the history, the event that said was a lie.
What was the name of the book?
We've recently come into contact with the inception, the history, a book about the history of the world. We've recently learned this is a lie. We're seeking more knowledge on what could be more lies.
The name of the historical event.
Historical
I have not heard of this book.
Yeah.
The Great War between all the.
Yeah.
What was the actual term for that?
Yeah.
The Great War? Question mark? I don't know.
Do you recall what the war was called, Seth?
Goodness me.
I don't know that I wrote that down.
Let me grab my notebook and try and whack it through.
Know that. Order the eye.
Yeah, the order of their eye. They
Intro.
said like this particular. They're referring to a specific part of the book that they knew was a lie. It wasn't just the whole book.
Just the general world knowledge. We knew
But
what it was
what were
called.
we actually sent here for? Were we sent here for another book or just?
No,
No, just
not
knowledge.
specific
Out of truth, that
For knowledge.
there's some sort of knowledge here where they just don't know what.
I see.
Maybe these tapestries that are around the room might.
Ayun has sent
Portal
us
up
here to seek knowledge and truth.
Yeah. Says yes. I'm aware of this deity. I know what she stands for, but I still don't know what I can tell you.
Do you know anything of the history of the races? How they came to be?
Oh, I do. I do know this history.
Well, will you share that knowledge with us?
Unfortunately, that's beyond my direction.
So you were told to come here and speak with us?
Lephantis was sent here to guard this place.
What are you guarding?
This chalice here.
What's so important about this chalice that you need to guard it?
He like turns and looks aggressively at you and says, "Why? Why do you ask?"
So we've never heard of it, and you're guarding it.
Well, you can't have it. It's mine.
Okay, I
We
don't care.
we only seek knowledge. Perhaps just knowledge of what this chalice does would speed us on our way.
No, it is mine, and you can't have even its knowledge.
So you are Lephantis?
Ah, I am Lephantis.
Making sure. And how did you arrive here? You seem to have just appeared.
Oh, I have. Oh, are you asking like how did he came here?
Yeah.
Like, just now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
just popped out of the air like a large quick spill.
This is my doorway to my humble abode.
Oh, I see. That's a very nice doorway you have.
He
I like
says, "Well, why? Thank you."
Where are you from, Lephantis? Are you of this world?
Oh, I forget. It has been so long.
Please, someone seduce the boulder.
What nice tendrils you have.
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to actually do the description of this guy. So he's got a sickly greenish gray skin and has these 4 eye stalks that are looking around at all of you, plus one big eye in its center and a big toothy maw. But he doesn't move his mouth when he speaks. He prefers telepathic communication, and he's just a big ball of flesh hovering above the ground.
So, what's the back of him look like? Those aren't little eye stalks?
It's just his carapace. It's
Spiky.
spines, little
Okay.
spines.
Okay.
And is he like behind the shimmer, or is the shimmer
He's in
behind it?
front of the
Okay.
shimmer.
So he came through. That's his doorway.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I feel like there's something else that looks
So-
like a holder.
Why is the knowledge
Maybe
kept
Gotta roll a
hidden
arcane
from the
check
world
or something.
about the races? Why is that not something that you can share with us?
This is information I've been charged to keep.
Can you tell us who charged you to keep this information?
It's been too long. But Lephantis lives here now, and Lephantis guards his treasures.
So you were given this charge ages ago.
Yes, many ages ago.
Do
So-
you offer any knowledge freely?
Depends on what you ask.
If you are charged with protecting this chalice, why do you not take it to your abode?
I was forbidden to touch it.
See.
What
So,
happens when you touch it?
I don't know. I've not touched it.
so
May I
you.
touch it?
No.
Roll persuasion.
Mine, and and I keep it.
But your master is the one who told you to keep it.
Yes, though I do not remember who this was.
So would you say, is it really yours or is it your master's?
It's mine.
But your master is the one who told you to guard it.
It is mine.
Anger the giant eyeball with teeth.
Lephantis, how do you sustain yourself in this room for so long?
I have the ability to create food and water. Keeps me sustained.
Have you encountered others come into your room before, or are we the first in a while?
Oh, it's been a long time. I do not recall having companionship here in my waking memory.
What did these other visitors come here for? So long ago.
Sounds like
My
you guys remember.
chalice.
They came to take the chalice.
Yes, but I forbade them, and they were destroyed.
I see. So they did not listen to you.
Yes.
That's rude of them.
So this chalice is very precious to you.
It's mine.
It's your precious. But you have never touched it.
No.
It's never moved. Have you ever used it at all?
Make a perception check.
If my D20 was in here.
I thought I saw it somewhere in there. Was it a D100?
In here?
Yeah.
That's a D. Oh, you're right. I'm crazy. Boy, very low perception check. That was correct. 3 plus 3,
you
6.
You don't see anything of note while you're looking at the hills.
Does the orange stuff is it like overflowing from the chalice, or it's just on the
Funny
ground?
thing,
around?
that's exactly what I was having you roll a perception check of that.
Okay.
So,
You can't really tell from this distance.
but we see it. We
You
see
see
it
it.
against the walls and
Could you-
against the floor. on the floor.
You see, so
Like you described
as
it,
as this
so-
conversation has progressed, some of you have wandering eyes that look at the various tapestries that are on the walls, and you see this chalice, and it is the highlight of most of these tapestries. You see it just on the pedestal. In the very last ones, you see people drinking from it. But there's all sorts of ceremonies depicted surrounded by this chalice.
Interesting.
Lephantis, did you make these tapestries.
No, they've been here for longer than I.
What do they mean?
This is information that I am charged to keep.
So how can you this chalice thing is?
It is an object that, if attempted to drink out of, would require two hands.
Two hands, okay.
It's not as
It's like a big
one hand.
bowl.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. It is. You get the idea that perhaps it was designed in such a way to actually evoke a very ceremonial style of
Okay.
partaking of it.
Let's see. I feel like we're here for the chalice.
I need to start a fight.
Is there anything we can trade you for the chalice?
No, it gets aggressive at the whenever you bring up any idea of removing the chalice from its current location.
May I approach it and just look at it?
No,
How far away do we need to stay from this chalice?
you may stay where you are unless you would like to approach with an offering.
What are you seeking?
Do you not serve Lephantis?
I really want to say, well, we've just met.
What does Lephantis require of us?
A token showing your belief and devotion is a good word, yes, and your loyalty and devotion to the all-knowing God Lephantis.
But Lephantis, you do not know the name of your master.
Gonna get killed.
He says, "I am Lephantis.
You are your own master.
I am my own master." He does start to seem like he's becoming a little unraveled with your continued questioning of this pursuit.
I would reach into my pocket and I'd pull out all of my money, and I would take us one step forward and say, Lephantis, I have an offering. Do you accept the money of this world?
I do. Approach, servant.
That's the gold.
Okay. Sure, I'll approach and I'll kind of do it in genuflect, sort of
I don't know what that means, but you go.
almost in kneeling position.
Whereabouts would you like to do that? Where do you stop?
I would say to Lephantis, where in this room is the most appropriate place to accept such an offering?
Yes, he will direct you 2 paces forward. Basically, he requests that you stand here, is where he tells you to stop, and he says, "Bow your knee and present your offering."
I do exactly that, and I offer 76 gold and 6 copper.
Okay. You lay it on the ground. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I'd say to Lephantis, this is all of my earthly possession, and I hope that in service to you, I might be able to gain some of your preeminent knowledge, so that I can thus serve you better in the future.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh my gosh, that's a bad. Oh my gosh, 6.
No. He says, "Your offering has been accepted, but this knowledge is not for the likes of mortals."
I understand. Perhaps one day I might rise to the grandeur of my master, and in so doing, lift him higher above myself than he even is now.
With that, I would like you to make a deception check. Because I'm pretty sure that's not your actual intention.
No, it is not. And I rolled a 6 again.
What was it?
6 total.
He's not gonna.
Your
Should be me.
entire
Sure.
earthly possessions, I'm not so sure that's the truth.
What more, other than the tools I might use to serve you directly, would you require?
You know what? I'm actually rolling. Yeah, okay. I should have been rolling an insight against your deception, not just make a DC.
You're the DM. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I know I can, but there are processes with which
Okay.
I would like to adhere to.
So while this is going on, can I attempt to glean any extra information from any of these tapestries around, or was that pretty
Yeah,
complicated?
I'm seriously hoping that this serves as a distraction so you guys can get stuff done.
And it's working for the time being. He seems very intent on the single servant that is presenting himself for service.
I'd like to go maybe 5 feet forward and take a closer look at the chalice.
Make a stealth check.
For 5 feet? I mean, I'm already
You're
back.
moving.
I'm not trying to be stealthy.
Oh,
Okay,
because this
then
one
he
is what you're
notices.
saying.
Well, he'd just be lining up with the rest
I'm
of
with
us.
everyone
So.
else. I just
Yep,
kind of step forward and look at the chalice.
Yeah, sure. Make a perception check.
That's good. 10.
Um,
Or, no, 9.
I would have let it go for a 10, but you unfortunately don't see anything out about the chalice. If you guys want to do other things, let me know, but I'm trying to formulate what sort of information you could glean.
And at his comment about my earthly possessions not being,
The friendship potion.
I would like to actually, in very cautious manner, present in one hand my short sword.
I don't know if that's one potion.
I cannot hear what he's saying. Can you? What do you do with your hand?
I said, like, when he asked me about the rest of my possessions, and I say to him, that I don't have anything else except tools I might use to serve him. I'd like to display in one hand my dagger and my short sword in the other, just so that I have them ready if I need them.
Okay, that's fair. So I don't know what was going on over here, but
Michael thought that
it's
for the
okay.
animal friendship potion, you're supposed to make the animal drink it. And he was
Not how
asking
it
if that
works.
was an animal.
Both of those things are incorrect.
Loom doesn't know this. He's not familiar with the magical aspects of potions.
This should be good.
So, okay.
Do I have to just throw the potion at him?
Somebody seems very charismatic.
So-
the other end.
So the problem with your current
No, there's a pack of
investigation is that the last tapestry, it appears to be a depiction of like an actual timeline. Like these things happen
Okay.
in order.
Okay.
You see groups of people surrounding the chalice. You see one person that is dressed much more ornately that's handling the chalice. And in the end, you see this very formally dressed individual going around and offering the chalice to individuals as they drink.
Okay.
The tapestries do not depict what the ceremony accomplishes,
Okay.
just the process of the ceremony itself.
Do any of the tapestries show if like the liquid they are drinking is similar to the liquid that's all around?
It's typically depicted as a gold liquid,
Okay.
but you're unsure if that is depicting what is actually this goop that's lying around.
Okay.
So at this point, I would like both Riven and Illum to make their own perception checks for looking at the chalice while this is going on, since everybody else has, except for
Jesus.
House, which is
Roll for this bloody chalice.
well, it's better to do it in the socials.
Maybe.
Oh.
Don't be a
12.
minus.
All right,
7.
so it's Illum that catches this, but this yellowish goop is like there's actually a a very defined circle around the chalice itself that is just the stone from the altar that the goop has seems to naturally be avoiding the chalice.
I give up because we're no good at this whole force field thing.
Turns around, goes home.
Yeah.
So
There's a line of goop.
There's the floor surrounding the altar itself is surrounded by goop, and for the purposes of this, it's roughly like all in this area. Your Oust is not close enough to be able to touch it, but he's approached the thing.
But Illume is the only one that actually.
Illume notices that the goop is not touching the chalice. So you then present your weapons and stuff, and he considers it, and he says, "I see. Yes, I guess you will need to keep those in order to perform your good works. Rise, my servant, and be in the good graces of Lephantis."
I'd stand up and I'd say, "Be to Lephantis."
Oust is converted, guys. Let's leave. He's trying to call.
Okay.
And I turn and I throw a dagger at my party. No, I'm just kidding. Then I do, and I suppose I'll step kind of to the side a little bit so that it doesn't seem like I'm as much a part of my group, but I kind of want to be, I don't know, I guess like 2 spaces closer to the camera if I can. And I'd like to turn to face the center of the room like I'm expecting, more to take place here.
Yeah, the Lephantis then looks to the rest of you and says, "Who else among you is here to offer your make an offering to your all-knowing god Lephantis?"
I approach.
Whereabouts do you go about to where he directed?
That's where he was, yeah.
Yeah, so you go about there.
And I kneel.
Kneel.
And I take the focus out of when I can hold it up, I say I offer this, my most prized possession.
Okay. What do you do with it?
I present it.
Place it on the ground.
What is this you've taken on?
My necklace.
He is currently no longer able to cast spells.
Wonderful.
Let's see if he recognizes this. He does not recognize the purpose of this.
Well, he thinks it's shiny. It goes with the other shiny gold.
So then he says, "You're." Oh, actually, I forgot. Make a persuasion check.
Offer the water skin that we got from upstairs.
19.
All right. He says, "Your offering is accepted, and go with the good graces of your all-knowing god Lephantis."
Rob's going to convert now. And just stay here guarding.
I'd like to offer to Lephantis and say, "Shall I retrieve
I
it?"
kind of guessed that you probably weren't going to move from that
I
spot.
was hopeful he would know.
Really?
I was going to ask, say to Lephantis, "Lephantis, can I offer to retrieve this offering on your behalf and bring it to you?"
No, your purpose has been done, my servant.
Yes, master.
Lephantis, before I swear fealty, what sort of jobs do you have for your servants to perform?
Well, I was not expecting loyal servants to approach me this day, but I expect a show of fealty before we may discuss other matters.
Yes, I only am ashamed that I am nowhere near as knowledgeable as thou art. And so I do not know if I am suited to serve you well or not.
Then you may leave. And he says this in aggressive, as in, this is your now.
I will.
While he's
and I don't get that.
to him, can I take an opportunity to kind of sneak a little bit closer to Lephantis?
Make a stealth check.
I was hoping I might be able to get some sort of bonus from his distraction.
He's got 4 eyes plus a big
Oh,
one.
that's true. Never mind then. 24.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So you can get. I will let you get as close as 10 feet without him noticing you.
All right. I'd like to do it.
Okay.
Just always there.
You skirt around the back here, trying to, as he is like very directly looking at Uric.
And I'd like to give eyes to the rest of the group. Like, hey, I mean, are we gonna?
I see this, and I've
No,
decided.
you don't. You probably don't roll a 24 perception to notice him.
Oh,
It's very stealthy.
making eyes, but also
That's
stealthy.
true.
I was actually about ready to give up on this nonsense anyway, so maybe I don't see that, but
So I'll let you guys roll perception to see if you notice him.
I mean, what the
Inching
hell?
forward.
All right, I'll roll.
24, you said?
I think it's physically
No.
impossible for me to get
No, I think
24.
you're wrong.
He's
Like
like
20 would probably.
Do you
succeed
want to roll?
anyway.
Or
Not
16.
Griffin?
perception. 20.
That was good.
Yeah, you rolled pretty well.
Sneaky. Where the
So,
heck did
It's disappeared.
So what do you do as he is requesting you leave?
This is.
I'm acting like I didn't get that. That was actually a request.
I was going to walk
Okay.
forward and act like I'm giving an offering too.
Well,
So what's he do in
He's-
response to that?
he's going to ask you guys to roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh,
I wanna give an offering.
can I preempt that by insight checking him when he was talking to him?
That's
How
the-
aggressive was
That
he?
is the initiative roll. You see that he doesn't. So what happens with this whole initiative thing is you see that he gives a very aggressive leave now, and he stays. And the initiative is to see who notices what first. You see that an aggressive action is going to be taken. We'll see who is going.
Before that happened, I was about to just shoot him.
I figured it was
But-
coming.
Oh, Kevin's I have advantage.
Oh, boy.
Fine.
I was about to offer him my water skin of shadowness free. Tell me what it is. I don't know what this weird black liquid is I have. I'm just going to carry it around forever.
I haven't rolled anything over a
I'll just throw it at a future boss and
Yeah.
hope it hurts them.
today.
See what happens.
Well,
Eat
this
blackness.
may be your first opportunity.
Oh,
Yep.
Griffin,
What if I can blind him?
Grab my focus.
I'm just going to throw nothingness into his eye.
Bloom and Morden. What'd you get, Oust?
Hey, that's not the first time.
10.
How much?
10.
10.
I know, right? I rolled a natural 2.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we got a natural 1, a natural 5. He's going first.
-1.
He rolled really low.
Oh,
See, I noticed this because I was about to offer him something, but I see him getting aggressive. It's
Like I noticed this because he's looking at me.
Dude, maybe you're just actually oblivious.
Yes, 'cause I was.
You said you were oblivious to what he was saying, so you don't notice he's getting aggressive.
I said I was acting.
You were really actually oblivious to
By the
yourself.
time you
Actually,
guys need to roll,
When you
Yes,
made an
no, that's
offering
how that
and got a 19th persuasion and got Zippo out of it, Morden was pretty much like, well,
yeah.
fuck this, where's my lightning bolt?
I think that was because I accepted. He was accepting something he didn't know.
Yes, I'm gonna throw the animal friendship potion in his eye. We'll see what happens.
Which one?
okay.
The
The big one. I'll make it more friendly.
Uh,
He'll be able to see us all. The big eye will be friendly. The others won't. That's how it works.
Oh, you already ordered it for me. Okay.
Yes.
Um,
I rolled 3 a lot better.
I'm gonna just try to like cast spells that require someone else to roll.
Yeah.
Clearly, that's the way to go.
Well, this is much faster than Lynn. Okie doke. So, as I'm going to say, by the way, that Riven, you are prone right now. You
I'm
are,
on kneeling, yeah.
yes.
That's fine.
So I'm going to do that. And person up is Uric. As you see that
He didn't
That
buy
he-
my act.
his aggressive get out was not adhered to, you are the first up to do something about it.
It's
Okay.
technically only aggressive.
First thing, 5, 15, 20, 30 would be to
Yeah.
get there. Feel like I'm going to want to get close. Don't really know. I also feel like line of sight is
That could be a
probably
sign of
going
aggression.
to be pretty important. Well, the initial, I think I've realized he's about to show a much more explicit sign of aggression. So I can get there.
Be Han Solo.
I'll go here.
First.
I'm going to, yeah, that's right. Hexblades curse him with
Okay.
my bonus action.
Is that a
That's not
concentration on
concentration.
you at all?
No.
Okay.
And then I guess I will take the dodge action.
Okay. I'm going to put a thing on you so I don't forget.
Remember something that's going on.
With dodge action.
What does dodge do for you? Plus something to AC or
You disadvantage on hit.
Disadvantage on- Okay.
Next up is Illum.
Wow, he was slow. Or wait, what did you get? Then you get like
16.
a 16. Oh,
Yeah.
16. I thought, okay.
Yeah, he didn't write the 6. He wrote this 6.
Touch the goop.
You're going to touch the goop?
Okay.
I stand next to that. Move next to the chalice.
So you stick your foot in the goop.
That's aggressive.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go all in. I'm going for it, guys.
I'm not healing you.
Yeah. So for now, it just
Hands up your feet.
it's you feel it actually like moving beneath your feet.
I grab the chalice with my action.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
You're going to drink from it with
That's
your
your
axe action?
There's
You
no
used your whole
liquid
movement to
in
get
it.
there?
I gotta
You're
do
going
it.
to pour the
Okay.
black stuff in it and then.
And I face
Would
towards
picking
him
up a chalice
with the
be a full
chalice.
action, or would that be a?
No, you just grab it. It's an
Okay.
interaction.
So you've got a dash action to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, that's his action, right?
No, I said it's just an
You said picking up a
interaction.
chalice isn't a full
Yeah, well,
action.
I'll say that
Just
the
a free
remainder, like
action.
you can't just like burst through a door without that causing time. So this is you like just picking it up that, and you end your turn there. We'll say.
So what are you
Okay.
sort of counting as a
And I kind of
action
face
then?
towards him with the chalice because he can't touch it.
Yeah, so you do that.
Well,
It's my shield.
well, all right.
We'll see how literal.
It is,
Will he follow his
The whole
plan?
it is
He
Alf's
can't harm
turn.
Oh,
Gonna make a break for it, guys.
I think you're still muted.
on
So.
now.
I think all of the ice
I had to mute myself to make it Ryan.
I'm distracted.
Pretty much.
What did-
My turn.
All of his eyes are at me now.
What would you
Yeah.
like to do?
I would like to attack the Lephantis.
Okay, so you
Opportunity to take
come
him
up,
out.
and I will say you have advantage on this because he did not notice you.
Would you say he's surprised by it?
Yes.
So automatic crit.
Oh yes.
My plan worked.
21 to hit.
That. Yeah, that hits.
You get like advantage attack, auto crit, and sneak
Yeah.
attack.
None of us are hitting.
We're
this.
Yeah,
gonna
we're
be
in
in
the-
If
trouble.
you're surprised, then you get an automatic crit.
Oh guys, that was a pretty good roll.
You don't
Attack
get an autumn. Well, see, he's not surprised about.
It's not a
didn't-
surprise.
He didn't notice you. You don't have it. It's not an automatic crit because he wasn't surprised by the encounter.
Okay, that's fine.
You have an advantage on the attack roll.
Oh,
You get sneak attack though.
Sneak attack. Yeah.
so fish for a 20.
13.
13 damage?
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'd like to hit him again with my dagger.
Good.
Advantage or not?
Well, just the first one, we'll say.
Okay. 12 to hit.
Misses.
Okay. And then, yeah, that's it.
Okay. Next up.
Oh,
Thanks for drawing the attention.
I would like Illum to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, I think I get some bonus on that.
Do you? Is
That
it your
shield
thing?
Shield.
You can have your shield
yeah.
Oh
protection.
yeah, I can add the shield.
You got
Plus
shield
two.
plus 2. So
Mhm.
Yeah. Because my normal dex is -1, so that's good. So I just get +1. 6.
You fall prone as the jelly slips out from under you and congeals into a
That's
large,
cool.
yellowish.
So do I drop the chalice on the ground?
No, I'll say you keep the chalice there, but you are prone, and he is going to make I think it's called a pseudopod attack. Yeah. He's going to attack you, and this has advantage because you're prone. 17 plus 4 is 21.
I have 18.
Okay, so it does. Oh, my other. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage and 1 point of acid damage. Boy, I rolled real low on that. As you see before you this large yellowish entity now threatening Illum space.
As in, like, technically large?
Technically large.
Okay.
And Lephantis goes. You have a very precious item in your hands, Illum. He's going to make 2 eye rays.
Destroy his precious item.
Yes.
I'm holding it.
Irate.
block with the chalice. It's big.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that irate.
Guys, thank
Maybe
you.
that will
Seth.
destroy the Horcrux.
You're lucky that he doesn't have any eye rays that require a dexterity saving throw, or he would use those, and you would roll a disadvantage to do it.
Chooses its
But
eye rays.
this one chooses its eye rays.
I bet he has
Um,
4 or maybe
I would
5
like
options.
I would like you to make a
Really hoping the middle one is not
Constitution saving throw.
Well, you already got a curse
12.
on him, so it's probably
Oh,
not.
just missed.
Oh.
As Illum is on the ground, he gets knocked prone and slammed, and just then his muscles seize
No.
and he can't move.
So you're really holding on tight.
Yeah, he's really holding on tight. The
Now nobody can get
second
the chalice
eye
out.
ray is gonna be at oust
Precious.
because he doesn't like what you just did. He thought you were his friend.
I was.
I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw. Wait, is it wisdom? Yeah.
Do I get any bonus from being nearby Illum? I can't remember.
I'm not aware of anything that Illum has that is.
Okay, it's a class feature. He must get it at a later level. 10.
You become frightened, and you cannot move closer to it, and any attacks against it are at disadvantage until you shake the fear.
Right next to it, so we can't look close.
So that's that. Morton's turn.
Okay.
And he basically says something like, "You traitor," as this black ray just beams down at you. Just like you hear, like it sounds like a dozen people screaming as it hits your chest, and all of your goose pimples stand up, and you are just scared of this thing. So Morton, you may take your turn.
I yelled, "Fuck this!" And yet run, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Mm-hmm.
And cast blindness on Lephantis.
Okay.
Yay.
What sort of saving
That's
throw?
a Constitution saving throw against 15 DC.
That's pretty smart.
It fails.
Son of a.
Or I think he failed.
Oh, he failed. Okay. I meant the spell fails.
No.
All right. Blindness lasts 1 minute.
Mhm.
I don't believe there's a save after. It's not concentration.
I think you can.
If it fails at the end of each of its turns, it makes a Constitution save. So the next 10 rounds, he's making a Constitution save.
I'm gonna start a little counter guy for him.
Sure.
Bonus actions.
So he makes attacks at disadvantage against all of you.
Doesn't that have an effect on spellcasting as
And I
well?
think we have.
If you can't see, if you can't see a target and it targets a creature, well, I mean, I'm maybe it might be back here. Blinded. A creature can't see automatically fails ability checks that require sight. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have advantage. Have disadvantage.
So no specific spell casting.
It doesn't say so. So
Alright.
it's if he has to make attack rolls.
I'm probably thinking of silence. So yeah,
Yeah.
cool. We're good.
That was good. 'Cause
Lots of
we have
spells
advantage against
say
him
like
now.
a target you can see.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that
So
means-
still.
Don't forget about the weird.
So Riven, it is your turn.
All right. As a bonus action, can I pick up my focus?
Yeah.
Hold in my hands. All right. So
And you use half your movements to
yeah,
stand up.
I stand up, and I go back 15 feet. I guess I have. Which I have. And I cast Scorching Ray at Lephantis.
Okay, roll your attacks.
And these are all at advantage, right? Because he's blinded.
Yeah.
Nice. 2. Do this. So first one.
Oh,
we got
that's a good
21.
That is.
Yep, that'll hit. 16, 22.
Yep.
And 19. So they all hit.
Yep.
Golly.
That's
Nice.
gonna hurt.
That
And
blinds.
that's what this roll this twice. Plus 10, 20 points of fire damage.
Sweet.
Ouch. He looks real bad after that.
Nice.
That blindness has fucked him up real bad. Yurik's turn.
Hey.
There's
A baby. I guess they're a little young, but maybe the horse is right there. Okay. I will move up and oh, I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, maybe he'll get unblind. So why not? Great sword
Weird noises.
and 18.
I think that hits the blob.
Okay,
Yeah, that's the block.
2d6. I borrowed d6. I can roll it twice. 2d6 plus 5. Whoa,
Nice.
17.
He is
dead.
dead.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Yeah, thanks guys for
Expected that.
ruining my real fun encounter.
Am I unafraid?
Yes.
Is Illum unparalyzed?
No.
There's still a blob.
There's still a blob.
I'm just holding
So
up this
Illum's
chalice.
turn. You make your save at the end of your turn.
What's the save?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. No, I'm not really good at that. 11.
Fails.
That's real high.
Oust's turn.
I'd like to run up and attack the slimy goo.
Okay. You do so. Make your attacks.
I'm assuming that's a sneak attack because my companion is prone or whatever. Right? Hello?
Correct. No sneak attack.
Okay. So my first attack, I'm sure, misses with a 10. My second attack is
I mean, it hits.
10 hits?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Uh-oh. Now there's two of them, I'm guessing.
it would be
as you strike this creature, two creatures
They're kind of cute.
remain in its place.
Are they the same? Only smaller?
That'd be really handy
Yeah.
when you're 3D printing. You just print the same thing and scale it down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very.
well, I'm going to strike out at the next one with my dagger.
You're just gonna make more.
You do so.
They're getting smaller.
Make your attack roll.
17 to hit.
Hits. So
5 damage.
Which one of these go?
splits into two more. I'll just use one. So there's currently 3 jellies here.
Is that
And
friendly? I'm guessing.
Oh, I heal.
He's read the other.
all right, that's your turn.
Yeah.
Jelly's turn. This guy. 10 feet. They're gonna make 2 attack rolls against this paralyzed target. Oh man,
Still
can't
under.
hit. I rolled 4 numbers under 10. So those guys miss. And this one's gonna attack the thing that just made its existence true.
It's not a very
and
nice
a
thing to
5th
do.
roll under 10.
Oof.
Not my night.
Flailing globs.
Lephantis is dead, so he was a fun character. Morden.
I'm gonna run up and smack the biggest one with my hammer.
Okay, do that.
Was that have to roll for that?
Which one is
Yeah, that's a crit fail.
The one.
You
I don't know why I thought I could do this.
you hit it and it makes contact, but immediately bounces back up.
Yeah. All right.
You accidentally hit the chalice.
That's
Ribbon's turn.
I mean, I guess I'll cast another Scorching Ray.
just come hit it. Come on, man, get in here.
One at each of them.
Cast it.
Okay.
These are not any damage. Right?
One at 2 of them.
It's a 9, 15.
Oh yeah, hits. They have real low AC.
19? No, 21.
I don't think you can miss. is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
wow.
Plus 6.
Take a-
The
roll
ace
your-
is
I mean, I think it's a
You
1.
can't fail like
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I mean,
well, just like the last goo, his AC was 8.
Wow.
This guy is 8.
That was an 18 plus.
Yeah, so roll your damage.
I'll go left
1 on
or-
each.
Left or right, yeah.
Okay.
So 7 on the one to my left.
Okay.
Fire damage. 9 on the middle one. Sorry, I'll let you do it first.
9 on the middle one.
Yep. So 7, 9, and 10.
Okay. What is this?
80% of the DPS.
Your turn.
I'll attack the one that's right by me.
They're not dead.
Okay.
That guy, right? Where did I hit?
Hits. Full damage.
1, 3 plus 6, 9, 14.
So you watch as you slash down with your sword that it kind of like slices into it and then it kind of just reforms.
What?
It appears that your method of delivery did not sustain any damage.
What a scumbag! I stomp on him with my feet now. No, just kidding.
Magic.
Illumin's turn. Make your save.
slicing. Oh, then again, you're a hammer, but you also crit fail.
That's the
7.
Al's
Just,
turn.
just keep holding that chalice, Loom.
Yep, I got it, guys. I still got it.
Al's, you're up.
Seeing how ineffective these type of weapons, my type of weapons, seem to be, I'm going to grab a loon by the feet and try and drag him.
Okay. Make a grapple check with advantage. So strength, your athletics check.
16.
With here, you have 18.
AC, yeah.
Yeah. So
You have to make a
he's
roll against a paralyzed prone character.
it's a strength check against his. He's got all this armor on. It's heavy. So unfortunately, you have a really hard time lifting him up with all of his heavy armor on.
And the chalice.
So it doesn't seem to be dragging.
Yeah, you do not get purchase enough, but that's your action.
That would've been-
all over your legs, man.
You have your other action if you want to just wipe your dagger at something.
My bonus action, I'm going to disengage and take a step back and draw my crossbow. Just about 15.
10 feet?
Yeah.
Do you want to stand at the glimmer? Actually, make a perception check.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Where'd you go? Man, he is so good at stealth.
Amazing.
Do I use my glasses or not?
I'm going to say no because, you know what? I'll say yes, but your glasses are negating a disadvantage.
My glasses what? Oh, negating a disadvantage?
They're negating a disadvantage.
Okay, 20 total.
All right, you notice it just in time and you sidestep. Unless you actually want to be in that square.
No, it seems unusual. I'd like to save it for later.
Okay.
Oh,
And you draw your crossbow, and that's your
visiting
turn.
Miss
Yeah.
Elephantus.
Go right at
Jelly's
his
turn.
house.
2 more attacks against paralyzed target.
Should probably save some
That's
spells.
15 plus 4, so that hits.
Barely, yeah.
And
Nothing good to come out of that.
19 plus 4, so that's 2 critical hits against you.
Whoa!
Oh, because if they hit their crits, because
Yeah,
He's
paralyzed.
Oh, because you're paralyzed.
Yeah.
Oof, that's 8, 16.
we all killed this beholder and just figured the job was done and don't notice Saloon getting.
So that's
Slimed
18
to death.
bludgeoning damage and 10
Six.
acid damage.
I'm out.
Out.
Um,
I'm
So
unconscious
then
with paralyzed, so you don't even really
this
notice.
guy, since the other one, I don't remember what it's. I shouldn't have rolled 2 attacks at once. So this guy's going to turn around and try to hit Morden.
But I was so ineffective. I'm not a threat.
15 plus 4.
Yeah, it hits.
All right.
Barely, but it
You
hits.
take
You'll-
and 10 bludgeoning damage and 1 acid damage. And then this guy is going to try and hit. That's
actually,
a natty
hang on.
1.
I mean, we can do this. It's not going to change anything. But he hits me, so I thunderous rebuke him.
Okay, what type of damage is that? Is that thunder or lightning?
Thunder, lighting my choice. I'm
Okay.
going with thunder.
Okay. So spend that. Yeah, and do your damage.
All right, that is. I think it's 2d8, 1d8.
You better look it up.
Yep. Yeah, there it is. 2d8. And they make a dex save for half damage.
11 minus 2.
Oh,
Wow.
3 damage.
3 thunder damage.
Okay.
I haven't rolled above, half value on any dice today.
See, so
They failed all their saves against me, though, so that's something.
So I planned this encounter because I explicitly expected that I needed something to soak up some damage for my frickin' spectator. Then you just blinded him and wailed on him. So thanks, guys.
Spectator,
Morden's turn.
not beholder.
Now it's your turn, having rebuked him.
Oh, it goes back around to me already?
Yeah, you were after him. You just used your reaction to
Right.
do that.
That's a point. Yes, that's true. Well, now he's hit me, and he actually does a fair amount of damage, so I think this whole hammer thing is overrated. I'm going to... Oh, God, but that makes me roll.
Do it. It's fine. You're due.
Yeah, I'm going to inflict wounds, which is a
Oh.
Okay.
touch spell attack.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Give me your spell token.
Hey, it's two,
It's a 10.
2 digits.
2 digits!
It hits.
2 digits! That's halfway!
I mean, hard to miss this guy.
Hey, don't. I can do it.
Yeah,
He's
so
done it.
do your
Inflict
damage.
wounds is...
Necrotic, I imagine.
Necrotic 3d10.
All right.
Can I roll some d10s?
Oh, yeah.
That's a 20. I'll
No.
use it, but it's going to be way too
That is
much.
true.
10.
Hmm.
Oh,
That's
it's 10.
10, 18 plus 4.
Well, there you go.
Nice. So it's
Boom.
effectively
Disintegrated.
just dissolves at the touch of your necrotic touch.
50.
Anything else?
What do I do for bonus action? Oh, right. No, wait, I can't cast 2 spells in one turn, huh?
No.
Only if it's a cantrip.
activating my cantrip spell. I mean, I could pop out a spiritual weapon, but at this point, it seems a little like overkill. I'm just going to move
Well, you can't
As
use spiritual weapons.
Illum
It's a
is-
spell.
around to the
Unconscious.
far side of Illum.
Riven,
I can probably make an attempt to move him too.
to what?
It's a bonus attempt.
No, it's
Full
takes your
action.
action to
Okay,
do that.
Then I'm just fine.
Riven's turn.
All right, I will twin cast the Chaos Bolt.
Okay.
With the first one,
What? Yeah, never mind. I forgot. You don't choose. It's random.
that is a 2 plus 6 is an 8.
It hits.
Yeah.
So literally anything for you except for a 1 will hit these.
That is 2d8 plus
Yeah.
6.
In fairness, I did get a +7 attack bonus to that
that's
touch
good.
attack. I would have had to roll anything but a 1.
All right, that is 12 lightning damage.
Oh.
Okay. As
To
you
the first one, the
hit it
orange one.
with lightning damage,
Step farther.
it kind of just bubbles up a little
Oh. Fine.
bit.
All right, second. Is it 20
Mm-hmm.
for maybe fire? 10 fire damage.
Okay.
Since I'll stay away from lightning this time.
And how much damage?
That's 10.
I guess it doesn't matter. That was the one that had 1 HP left.
Fine. Kill this second.
Obviously, my sword,
As a
I've got it
bonus,
down
I would
to
like
1
to
HP.
trade in 3 sorcery points for a.
Doesn't, oh,
Twin.
It's a bonus.
yeah, because you made twin spell be.
Well,
You
can
have
trade
to
it
do
for
a spell.
Oh no!
To trade
What
it for
does-
points
what
for a
does this
spell
say?
slot.
For sorcery points.
Well, no, for
This
quicken spell.
Oh, this isn't quickening. This is font of magic.
Oh, you
Getting-
did
getting
twin
out-
spell.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
doing trading in spell sorcery points for a spell. Something like that.
So he's just getting
and,
slopped.
and using
Yeah.
your things. No, I don't think using your things spend bonus actions. Sure. That was.
Just in case.
Illums makes your save.
You got
You
this.
can do it. What? Oh, your death save.
Yeah.
Death save. Plus.
Oh yeah.
17.
Yep.
17.
So mark a 1 on your saving throws. Successes. Oust's turn.
You only needed to not roll 3 fails in a row on 1 turn.
You come.
You said it's my turn? Oh, baby, come on. I'd like to fire 2 crossbow bolts if I can.
Depends on
More.
Oh, I can only fire 1.
Crossbow,
well,
yeah, I think
but-
light crossbows
Yeah, in general,
are still
uses lightning.
cutting weapons.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2 if you take
I'm about to
the
baby down.
crossbow weapons expert.
I like lightning.
Use
Some
attack
lightning
roll.
thunder.
Okay,
Guys, time.
Sorry.
I hit it with 12.
Yep.
And do I have sneak attack? Or I don't think I do. I can't see very
You go.
Okay, 9 damage.
Yeah. So with that, it pierces it, and it dissolves into nothingness.
Did it.
Someone save Illum.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna keep this going just until Illum's up, but I'm sure it's not gonna be an issue. Morden's turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast a level 2 Cure Wounds.
Gotta get up next one. You are.
So level 2 Cure Wounds would give me an extra D8. So that's 10 points. I get my spellcasting modifier too.
All right. Session's over, guys. That was fun, right?
All right.
That was fun. You might be disappointed your
Super fun.
guy didn't stay up very long.
Yeah, I got a fun
But
idea.
it was
Let's all take a drink
interesting.
from this thing.
I really liked the interaction that led up to the fight.
Raise.
Yeah, but he did yell at us for a while. That was
Guys, I have this chalice.
Well,
What's stuff in it?
So
What does
the,
it
well,
do?
you're
the
so
fun
paralyzed,
thing
right?
that was
mine.
supposed to happen
No, no.
is that
You never
if
say.
spells ever missed him, he could redirect the spells at other people.
Oh.
Wow, that was dangerous what
That
you
was
did.
dangerous.
failed his save.
I'm glad
Yeah.
he's blinded.
Am I
I
still
could have blinded
paralyzed?
someone else.
Yes, you
And
could.
then you could have lightning or fire bolted them. Yeah, that would have
Wow.
been lovely. And what's that called? A spectator?
Yeah.
Like a baby beholder?
It's Baby Beholder.
I thought you were trying to murder us. I thought this was it.
I was scared.
Forget it.
Like,
Good. That was the point.
That's
I was gonna try to make a run for it with the chalice. It didn't work too well.
Yeah.
I don't know. You've got the chalice.
The running part didn't
So,
work out.
Is he unparalyzed?
With no issue. Like I don't know, but I think that it would persist. I don't know how I would roll that, but with no consequence, you either wait it out because it only lasts a minute, or
A minute later.
yeah, so you're fine.
Well, guys, that was fun.
All right, so I think we should either drink from the chalice or go visit Mrs. LaFontis.
I say we do both.
Maybe we
At
can find
the
knowledge
same
in his
time.
I
cave.
feel pretty good about ourselves right now.
All right, so Illum, how about you drink the chalice
Would we say we
while
also have a
going
short
through the
rest in
portal?
this period?
No, not if you're making
I mean,
investigation.
like waiting for him to unparalyze.
No, that took
That's
a minute.
Oh.
So all the orange goop is gone, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's all bubbled up and sizzled and
I'm
melted
gonna-
away.
Use
Having spotted this radiant glowing area, I mean, can I investigate it?
Yeah, I'll go investigate the
Okay.
glowy shimmer too.
Both of you make investigation checks.
Yeah, that's not.
Mine's only a
something to
7.
do.
How much, Oust?
7.
5.
Yeah, so you approach the glimmer, and it just looks like more mirage. You can't see anything in there, but you know that something is there, but you can't make heads or tails of it at this point.
so I want to walk
I
over
mean, like-
to it.
An Arcana check to see if I can understand what it is, since I saw LaFantis use it. Or anything.
Uh,
I think I recognize.
make an
the
Arcana
spell.
check. Sure.
I don't be able to roll anything. Oh, that's 15. So that's 16.
So the effect looked very similar to what you thing came visible from an invisible state, but so with a 15, I'll say
16.
16. With the
That gives me extra punctuation.
also make a history check.
Wow. Now I can roll. That's a 19.
All right. So you know explicitly that it is impossible that there are other planes than this one.
Right.
And but you've never heard of anything being able to do that.
Okay.
But something's
planar travel, but going that's impossible. There's no way anything can do that.
exactly. You make a connection there, but you don't
So it's a separate
understand
planet
what could possibly have
by accident.
done this.
Okay, I can work with it.
I would like to take a ball bearing and throw it into the shimmer.
Okay. You do that.
You're here now. You're here
And
now. From the other side.
make an attack roll.
After your attacks.
Dex modifier.
15.
Hurt Mrs. LaFantis.
What's your AC?
With mage armor, 15.
Or was the bonus
Yeah,
touch?
that was still up, so it hits you. So basically, you tossed it at the shimmer, and it catches you off guard, and because you threw it expecting it to go in something, but it hits something solid and then bounces back and hits you for 1 point of damage.
So
Mine,
you
you
ball bearing
flop.
for nothing.
Yes.
Didn't even get hurt it off from the fight.
Seeing that, I'd like to transform my thing into a pike
Mhm.
and poke it from far away.
I would like you to roll a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. Okay. 12.
You take
Smacks yourself.
5 force damage as you are thrust backwards 10 feet and land prone.
I'm glad you did that before I did.
Okay. So it was a very gentle
I don't
poke.
want to drink from this
Yes,
chalice,
but
guys.
it
Alright.
actively forced you out of its space.
Still just holding it. Man, who wants
This didn't
chalice?
level us up right now, did it?
Golden chalice.
I really want the next level spell for this.
Mhm.
Who
Should I
wants
just
to
drink
run
it?
into it?
I think I'm just gonna drink it, guys.
We're all here poking this thing, and Loom's just like,
There's nothing in it.
Oh, it's empty.
Pour
Yeah.
your water
Oh.
skin in there and drink from that. See what happens.
yeah.
Is Is there any goo left on the ground?
No,
Oh,
No,
it's all
whoa,
gone.
whoa.
Ilum, what's in your water skin?
Oh, the shadow. Or the shadow in the shadows.
So now that we get, there's
Should
still,
I-
there's
Get
not
a
like,
failure
we can't see any other
saving throws.
tapestry.
I've got one spell slot
No,
left.
he's
There's
gone.
no
Is that
magic
interesting?
tapestry that shows you what the results of this
I'm gonna
ritual.
save the shadow though. If I can sell it.
Can I? So how big are
Make
these
me rich.
tapestries?
Yeah.
They cover
It doesn't look like
like
this is
ceiling to
tapestry, but-
floor minus.
we're just gonna- I'm just gonna take
minus
the
a
chalice.
little, on
Oh,
We
either
could
end.
sell this golden
Alright.
chalice for some money.
Hey Seth, can you hear us?
Chalice.
Okay, there's a lot of like cross chatter happening, and I just want to make sure you're getting all the
Yeah,
information.
I think I'm getting it.
Okay.
I'm just quiet.
Yeah, I know, but there was like 4 people talking, and I wanted to make sure that you could hear what I was trying to get across. Sorry, and now I forgot your question.
How big were the tapestries?
Yes, so the tapestries go from just a little under ceiling height to just a little over ground height, and the room is probably like 10 feet tall.
Right, I'm like,
These are pretty well created tapestries.
I'd like to
take
find the
a
one
look.
that looks to be in the best condition, or if one is like obviously more like the critical part of the ceremony. Essentially, I want to take one and like try to roll it up and bring it with
Make
us.
an intelligence check.
Oh
We should take
no! 11.
Okay. You get an idea that perhaps the most interesting one looked like the one that the people were drinking from it.
Sure.
So yeah, you can roll it up. It's heavy.
How heavy?
Yeah.
Just how heavy? In
Well,
terms
you
of
are a
the-
very strong person.
No, in terms of the max holding capacity of the bag.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
But the bag doesn't have weight restriction, does it? Just
I think
size.
I think it's got a max on
But
both.
it's
Say
really
it does.
big. I'm pretty sure. Like
I mean,
it-
rolled. I think the
It's like
size restriction
500
is
pounds
like
or something.
Yeah.
It's a 4 foot by 4 foot
an
cube.
opening. So if you could
Yeah.
roll it up smaller than that and just.
I
shove
would
it
say
lengthwise-
if you folded it, you could fit it in the bag of holding because the rolling of it would exceed. Oh wait, no, it can.
Yeah, it's just the opening.
It can. Yeah. It's 4 foot cube that can also like stretch.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can fit that in the bag of holding.
Okay, sweet. I'd like to put it in the bag.
Okay.
Only.
Not
Well,
much else, but
Well,
The
we only
chalice
have some
also
gold
fit in
and
there?
a bunch
Yeah.
of knoll ears at the moment.
yeah,
so.
you're fine.
Can the chalice also? go in
What
the
should
bag
I
holding
describe
it?
this particular tapestry as?
Chalice tapestry.
Okay.
Would we be able to take all the tapestries? Or...
No.
So that was the most important.
Oh,
Yeah.
can I also see if there's
Seems like they're.
any residue left over from our spectator or blobby friends?
Yeah, actually, I would want to investigate the. I assume there's a body. Of the
Yeah, there's a body of the spectator.
Yes, well, Yurik beat you to it, so you'll just have to wait your turn.
What would you like to do?
See if
You just did a thing. This is.
loot the body, in essence, if there's
I'm pretty
anything
sure he's
lootable.
rolling up a tapestry while I'm doing that.
He does not have any clothing on him.
Check his orifices.
Yeah.
You check his orifices.
Cut off the eye stalk.
Got a mouth.
I mean, yeah, I think we
Inside.
should probably take the eye stalk.
We've already saved
the eye
knoll
if we
ears.
can.
Our threshold is very low for keeping.
But if there's anything extra,
If you were to
special-
chop off all of the eye stalks and put them in a bag of holding, I don't think you would have room for all that. Because if you think about it, these are probably the size of a rolled up tapestry.
How about just like the eyeball?
Yeah, you
scoop
can
one of
do
those
that.
out of the stalk.
Sure.
Spectator eyeball.
Spectator eyes.
A couple little ones.
So you don't really have anything that could assist in the taking of eyeballs.
Yeah.
You have a smashy weapon
I got great sword
that
again
can be
now.
anything.
Yes. Well, I think swords. A big pair of scissors.
What I meant was any weapons.
Okay.
So you could
Scissors are weapons.
you could effectively
Scissors.
make like a carving knife.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And work. So make a dexterity check.
Okay. Just straight dex.
Yeah.
Hey, natural 20.
Hey, yeah, without a problem, you expertly carve out 4 spectator eyeballs.
Alright.
You may even take the really big one if you like, but that's going to be tough to
I would like to
Someone
at
could
least
probably
remove
carry
it.
that,
Yes,
I mean-
the loom's very good at carrying
backpack.
things. I have found.
I'm still carrying this chalice.
Oh, that's true. Does it fit in the
I
chalice?
asked if it was going to fit in
Sure.
the bag of holding, but no one ever answered if the chalice would go in there.
Wait, do we want to put it in the chalice?
I don't
Do
know.
we want to test something
You
in the
see me
chalice first?
carrying it over. Okay. Oh, okay. Sure.
Well, if you guys want, you can
Let's
give it
try
a
it.
water in.
No, you're in the chalice before we throw.
Let's see what Alice has to say.
Did anybody try and put water into the chalice yet?
Yeah.
Nope.
I suggest then, before we decide we're done here, what if we saw what happened when a drink was put into the chalice?
I go and set the chalice back on the pedestal and walk away from it and say, "You guys do what you want with it."
Okay.
And I'll take from my water skin and try and fill it up.
We'll be back about 20 feet.
Okay. So Alice approaches and pours water in the chalice.
Yeah.
It's rolling.
Okay, you do so.
There's no water in the chalice.
Do I notice anything unusual?
What do you see? Anything happen?
No, nothing unusual.
Taste it.
Drink the water.
I will drink the water.
Make an intelligence check.
Just straight up intelligence, no skill.
Nope.
11.
So you recall seeing that there were many other tapestries that looked to be of relevant procedural actions that looked to appear to happen before anyone drank from the chalice. You
Okay.
may now take your drink if you so choose.
I lean my face down to it, and then I'm like, as I get my eyes down, I look up at the rest of the guys, and they're like wide-eyed. And I see
All very far away.
the ritual performer wearing his special garb, and I realize that there's something missing from this ceremony.
And among other things, like there's, you can't really make out the exact thing that they're doing, but there are ritualistic
Okay, and then I dunk my face in.
processes being officiated by a man in robes.
From my corner, I say, I think you should drink it.
What the heck? And then I say to Morton, Morton, Loom, get ready. And,
Oh no.
As he just drinks normal water.
and I take a drink.
Okay. I will say that you don't really feel any different.
What's
And I
happening?
turn to them and I say, I know. Nothing.
It's made him dumb. He doesn't know anything anymore.
Well,
Who am I?
You only different?
I feel no different.
I would like to go over and chop off a stalk now of this spectator.
Okay.
And then from a distance, lob it at the portal. And as soon as I do, run the other way.
Make a strength
Oh, the eyes.
with
You get killed by an eye
disadvantage.
stalk.
See if the spectator can get through.
That's the yes. It didn't need to be
If it
alive.
heals the spectator.
15.
All right. Make a dexterity saving throw.
No.
Bouncing back at him.
18.
All right. We're gonna give me another couple d6 here.
Oh yeah.
This is a magical portal. It can always find you and knows who you are.
Oh god. Nice. Knocks him out cold.
You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage, but manage to
As
keep
the beholder is resurrected from the non.
the beholder, the dead spectator. It hits the portal, but its lifeless form ricochets off of the rift and rockets back in your direction. This heavy mass colliding with you, and you hold your ground. You get the wind knocked out of you. It'll just but you take it like a champ.
Okay. I think it knows it's dead.
This is the statue all over again.
I clapped. That was great.
Well, at least it looks like people can't really mess with the portal, so I'm sure the Order of the Eye would be interested in
What happens if we touch the chalice to the portal?
checking this out. You should find out.
No.
I mean, I don't even have it in my hands yet. I set it back down. I was just raising the question.
Do you have anything you could like?
Sure.
You take the rough sketch.
House raises the chalice from the pedestal and takes it to the portal.
You do what?
Okay.
You take
I
the,
have
are you just going to
I have
touch the
like-
chalice? Okay,
I have
guys.
dice.
Hey, guys. So you take the chalice.
Over to the portal,
Okay.
and I turn to them and say, "Am I going to have to do everything?"
You didn't throw a stock at the
I
portal.
gently, one hand covering my face, the other one with the chalice, touch it to the.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how gentle you are.
Make a strength saving throw.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, and your arm just is immediately thrown back, but you are not knocked back in any way. But that man, you got a bit of a sting on your arm from the ricochet.
Okay.
No, I feel like we
That's
have,
the party. Come on, guys. Let's go.
yeah, we have
Yeah.
plenty of stuff to interest these people.
I think we're good. Does anyone have like writing implements, paper, anything?
I don't know. Do you? Is it in your inventory?
Yeah,
I'm asking everyone else because no, I don't have anything in my inventory to do that with.
Probably unlikely.
Or-
None of the starting equipment comes with that.
Some backgrounds do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably.
I had an option to take it, and I didn't. So
I have a nice deck of cards.
that's dice. Yeah, and we played with those before.
What are you wanting to do?
Just make a rough sketch of the tapestries we can't carry.
I have a scroll case stuffed with my studies.
You think that would have a pencil and paper or
I was gonna
something?
say that.
Charcoal, nothing. Oh, fine.
Okay, I go up the stairs and then I get impatient for them, so I press the stone panel, trying to make the stairs go away.
I don't know what.
I never
you're-
brought the stairs. Yeah,
I
he
don't
fixed
know
it.
what
Dude.
you would, if you would really want that to happen or not. But whatever your reaction to it, nothing happens.
What the heck?
All right, I'm gonna look at the portal or whatever it is.
If no one had anything to write with,
I'm gonna cast message into it and say, "Can you hear me?"
Oh,
You get no response. It doesn't appear to be a living entity.
The message bounces back. You hear yourself in your own head.
Make a wisdom-
Psychic
make a
damage.
wisdom saving throw as your words hit your mind. Unexpectedly.
Oh, can you hear me?
Confuses you.
He said, "Can I hear you?"
You have a mental breakdown. You turn schizophrenia as you're talking to yourself.
I'm done.
yeah, I head upstairs too.
All right.
All right, do we need to head back to town? And
Are we gonna
find our
take this,
little friend?
Chalice, or are we just leaving it there?
So just,
Oh, we're taking.
just to recap the tapestries, there was one that had like a big group of people. Another one that had like somebody in ornate dressed up with the
Several
chalice.
with ornate.
Several.
Ornate, yeah.
Okay, so big group of people, several ornate, and then one with a very formally dressed person.
Sorry, that's the same person. The formally dressed person is
And the ornate.
the officiant appears in several of the tapestries, and there are other people in other formal attire that partake from the chalice.
And it's golden color.
It's a brass.
Brass.
I believe I said brass or copper.
Oh, that said like the water comes
The
out.
water coming out was depicted as a gold liquid.
Okay, so I think so. The chalice should probably go in the bag of holding. Is it? It got put on the
I will let
altar.
it fit.
Blue
Whoever's
has it.
carrying it last still has it.
That would be Oust who tried to drink from it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he would.
Yeah, I'll just drop it in your bag of holding.
4
Back
small
holding.
spectator eyes, and so we cut them all out, and they'd fit in there.
And then I put the
One.
big eyeball in your backpack. I believe
What?
you volunteered.
Sure.
Large
One
spectator
large
eyes.
spectator eye.
Sure. You're giving all the heavy lifting to the people who have none of the strength that you possess.
This is true.
I just gave him 5 Noliers, so I'm Got plenty of room.
My strength's okay. Plus, the bag always weighs 10 pounds.
Yes, yeah. The joke being that he passed off this heavy lump of flesh to a sorcerer, whereas
It looks
is,
arcane. I thought it could be useful.
Use it for his potions or
massive
something.
gauntlets of,
Grind up the iron. Use it as ingredients.
or yeah, you still have the order.
Yeah. I also think that we should probably go back to the fancy library.
Oh, I also meant to have
Head back to the Order of the Eye first.
you, Morden, to make an intelligence check.
Okay. Just straight intelligence,
Mhm.
16.
So you've seen in passing Oberon with Elohim in tow in the past, and there's a symbol on these tapestries that actually both of them wear.
Well, any useful description, just a sigil.
I didn't design it.
Fair enough. I recognize the symbol.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we got a name. Maybe.
Yeah.
And he says he's been around since like forever. If we could learn anything about Lephantis, that might be interesting.
I don't say anything about this information that I recognize yet.
Okay.
Just myself for the moment.
So, I mean, I know we like want to get in the Order of the Eye's good graces, but if we wanted to see if there was anything else we could learn before handing over all the cool stuff. I mean, I don't know. What if the chalice like turns people into vampires? Maybe we shouldn't give it to anybody.
I'm not sure I trust the people just at the library. You know, if we've learned from the Order of the Eye that information is being covered up, it could be dangerous knowledge.
Never read any.
Yeah, that's actually pretty much my strategy for life.
We read about the sirens.
That didn't help.
Even if we expected that the library would have the knowledge, they've already told us that if we seek anything other than the mundane knowledge, we must become patrons of the library. So I'm not sure that going to the library, even if they do have anything, would yield us anything.
I don't recall that being a prerequisite, but I mean, we can skip it. I just
Wait, what? We don't have a book or anything for them. What were you?
we have a name. We have Lephantis. We have a fancy chalice. Which is this like a temple of any? Was it their name for this temple?
You
It was
know,
ruined.
it was a
Just
ruined
old.
temple that they had divined the knowledge that there was knowledge to be sought
Okay.
in this location.
I mean, we can skip it if we want to. Just
No, we do have to go back to town anyway to find our contact for the Order of the Eye.
Did you tell us about the symbol?
I did.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we our mission's accomplished here.
At this point, I'm wrestling with my loyalty to superior officers. Just not sure what that means.
We'd share that.
What does this gain us with the Order of the Eye?
This was our test for if we were going to work with them or get
It's
in
our
alliance
test.
with them. So if we don't do it, then they
So
just
we-
won't work with
what
us.
we gain is probably proportional to how important Lephantis is. If only we had some way of determining if he was important or not.
We gain knowledge from the Order of the Eye,
Potentially,
potentially,
potentially we gain an ally for the Order of
and
the
an
Eye.
ally,
Don't know if they're.
but they're hiding something. They have some sort of insight into the world that we don't know.
I think what they were testing us to then they would, like, tell us more if we completed this test.
benefit the resistance to join the order, become allies with the order and see what they know.
That was our original plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, we're going back to town anyway to find
Or-
the contact.
We have this essentially magical chalice.
To be fair,
I don't know what we do with
the
it.
Order of the Eye didn't ask for a magic artifact. They were looking for information and
So
knowledge.
just the tapestry might be enough for them. Do we have to
Probably.
tell them about the chalice?
And the very dangerous shimmering thing.
Yeah.
And the baby beholder.
We won't tell them if they attack it. It bounces back at them. They can find out
Do
themselves.
their own experiments.
Since we're going to be in town, I have no objection if you wanted to go to the library and ask around about the Fantas. That's
Okay.
your area of expertise.
I would just be
anyway.
wary about showing people like the chalice and stuff, because then they might
Yeah,
That
I'm not
attract
planning on
attention
showing
to us.
people stuff.
like just asking. Maybe it's fine.
You could learn more about why this creature was there. Maybe tell us some more. I'd like to find out who this Temple of Rickenor belonged to. I think that would be valuable information for us. So Fantas is the only name, or only real lead there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could also just ask the Order of the Eye about Lephantis if they know anything about that. Probably, if they do give us more information, it's more reliable than the library info.
Could be.
And then on our way back, we can always look it up if we think their information is.
Even if we ask the order that first, we can still go to the library later and tell them
Afterwards.
about Lephantis too,
Yeah.
and ask about it. If we,
That's
if
true.
we don't think the order that gave us enough.
Cool. So let's go back to town, find Dalen and Dallin.
How far away were we from town again?
And
whether or not
it was probably about half a day, and the temple really didn't take you too long. Lasted through pretty quick. So you have the opportunity to get back to town with just enough light left.
We can crash at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe crash at the end and first, and then in the morning we can go and find our contacts.
I think that's wise.
Just for recharged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Alice, did you make sure you grabbed your gold that was on the ground?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I walk behind. What goal?
That's all
Probably picked
Luna.
up when he stealthed behind the.
All right. We'll make sure there wasn't left there.
All right. Away we go.
Man, I really wanted to break the fantasy.
Did we decide then that we're going to go back to the inn tonight?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
sir.
we're gonna go sleep and then in the morning find our contacts.
Yeah.
Well, before we do that, do you mind if we take just a quick potty break?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could have 10 minutes, I could put the baby to bed and then be
Go
done.
for it. But, rolling.
Rolling
Rolling what? Healer?
Let's see, dexterity.
Persuasion?
Charisma.
Find out what I'm going to use to kill you all with for
We're destroying
killing
your.
my beautiful spectators.
It's just going to be a real
BBG
beholder
subjects.
next time.
It's just
Yeah.
going to be a real one.
Yeah.
No, even worse. It's going to be a zombie. I'll be beholder.
Oh, heavens.
Well,
Well,
I can do a lot of extra damage against zombies.
Yeah,
Probably not
But
enough.
I'm pretty sure zombie beholders are CR 2 digits and counting. Oh, no, they're only challenge level 5.
Seriously?
the holders.
Zombie
Oh,
beholders.
do zombie beholders
Zombie
lose a lot of
beholders.
their powers? though?
Yeah,
Was there? Zombie
but it can
beholder?
also choose its eye rays.
Oh,
Oh, so it
Very
doesn't
much-
lose its eye rays.
It gets 4 eye rays, but it can choose them.
so the one in crit roll wasn't a zombie beholder.
It was.
It
It
was.
started
The first
out.
one?
Well,
they did
it wasn't-
back to back.
It was
The
a.
second one.
I don't think it
Wait,
was.
Season
It
one?
resurrected itself. Crit roll. They faced a normal beholder with some bonus
Yeah,
powers.
with the Horde of Orcus,
Yeah,
and then
once
they
they
killed
killed
it, then it became a zombie beholder.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a zombie. I can do 4d8 and 2d6 if I double smite.
that's cool.
Hey, buddy. So, do you guys think that maybe this was a conversation on our way back to town while Oust and oh, never mind. I was going to say Riven are talking to each other. Do you think Lephantis actually had a master, or he was just one really confused dude?
He seemed like he was under some kind of compulsion to me. That was the impression.
Yeah, it seemed like he was ordered to guard it by something at some point.
It seemed, I don't know very much about spectators, but they seem like powerful beings. I'm a little surprised this one has stayed here and stuck to its task for apparently an interminable amount of time.
Unless it's like Crater also like made it not know who like gave it the orders or something. Like that was part of its compulsion, was it couldn't question that.
Or if its memory had been modified.
Yeah, or wiped out the memory of who actually ordered it.
Not a lot to go on.
Not a lot to go on.
It looked really cool though.
No, it does look
Yes, I
really
liked that.
good.
The minis make it
Can I see
very
the
cool.
Can I see that close? It's actually pretty good detail.
Yes.
Where
Yeah, it is.
favorite?
Yeah, so it did 3 pieces: the front, the back, and the stand. There was a 4th that was the tongue. It was supposed to, so let me show you that.
Yeah.
Entry.
Oh, it looks pretty good. So, did you get this from the Thinkers?
Oh, gross tongue.
Wow.
Yeah. I was having trouble getting it to adhere to the plate, so I just skipped the tongue.
Mm,
But
that's really cool. Will this be a every event thing now?
I want it
every
to
session
be.
thing.
I want to be able to make minis for the different guys. For group mobs, it makes it more difficult because I have to identify between
Like a
the
one,
characters
two,
and who has what HP. So like it was relatively easy enough with the jelly, because the jelly I just then wrote down its next split underneath it and was able to keep track of it pretty easy. Also because whenever you hit it, whenever it splits, it divides its HP in half, so I can kind of identify which one was a split entity.
What causes them to split?
You don't know. On and slashing damage.
Gotcha.
So your lightning did it, his daggers did it, your sword would have done it if it wasn't already a small creature.
How much did you say you could do smite damage if you double smited against an undead creature?
4d8 and 2d6.
Plus your weapon damage?
Well, that was one of the d8s.
Oh, okay.
Average of 25 damage. I put together a table of expected values for different dice rolls. It's like number of dice and then the size of the dice.
Plus I can knock it back 10 feet with thunder damage.
So
66 become one.
I was thinking about for a board game how there could be this mechanic where like you would have to collect dice, and
Unfortunately, what
then
this
when
doesn't
you
show you
wanted
is that
to,
if you go to,
attack or whatever, you would have to
more
choose from
dice
the
and
dice you
lower numbers,
collected.
your minimum
And
number
funny
goes
story,
up compared to less than one on any dice.
Matt Colville
And the,
is preparing for his next campaign,
Mm-hmm.
the big
and
dice, you get
he is
a lower
introducing a
minimum,
mechanic.
not necessarily maximum.
Trying to. He was
But
designing it. I didn't watch too much of the episode. But he was designing a mechanic to interact with hit die because it's boring.
Okay.
So the idea being that your hit die, I don't remember, he made special rules on how to accumulate this pool of dice, and then special rules that were when you could spend
Okay,
those
yeah.
dice. So you, as a party, accrue a pool of dice, and then during taking this specific action type, or in this particular situation, you may take one to many of the die from the pool and allow it to affect your roll.
Yeah, I thought it could be interesting to then like have it be where, okay, so you're gonna attack this guy and he has like an armor rating of 8 and like a health of 5 or something, and you could then choose to roll whatever dice you want as long as the total number of faces like added up to 12 or something like that. So you could choose to roll 2d6, hoping to get over the 8. So essentially, it would rely on the fact that like a d12 you're much more likely to get a 12 with a D12 than you are with 2D6s, and much more likely with 2D6s than with 3D4s. But you also could do almost no damage. So if you wanted to play it safe, you could roll, like flip 6 coins. You're almost never going to get a 12, but you're guaranteed to get a 6. So like you have to go around deciding what dice you wanted to collect, and then when you wanted to spend the different ones and stuff like that.
It would worry me if you did it on some sort of damage type roll, because if the party spends its entire time just trying to collect die to nuke one thing.
Yeah, it would so it wouldn't be like in a D&D thing, and it would still be like you would be capped, I think, by the total faces of the die. So you couldn't just say, all right, I'm going to do my 3D12 now. It'd be like, no, you have 12 faces that you can distribute as 1D12 or 2D6 or 3D4 or 1D6, a D4, and a coin or whatever. So I found a little website that lets you play around with different dice combinations, but you can't really get away from a bell curve. You can kind of move it up and down the chart, but it's kind of less fun than I wanted there to be.
So
more risk versus reward.
So you guys know, now that you trounced two CR creatures, you guys are in for some interesting stuff. If you guys can do that to two CRs, like I introduced the 1/2 CR, which was the ooze was a 2 CR. I think the rug of smothering was also 2 CR.
Really?
Yeah.
See that? I feel like it's just luck. The rug gave us almost no problems. The ooze nearly killed 2 of us.
The rug gave us no problems because you knew to pull it off. Somebody's in there and you attack it. It
does damage to you, to the person, if you tried to attack just the rug.
Okay.
By pulling it off, it pretty much negated its
Yep.
mechanic.
That too. But these guys, I guess you got the advantage on him because of blindness.
Yeah, we got lucky.
He got the advantage on you because of the paralyzed Illum.
Yeah.
But man, because you took that chalice, he was gonna try and wreck you so fast.
The ooze gave it. We dealt with these 2 CR creatures separately, consecutively.
Yeah.
We ignored one and then
You
took on
did
the
your
other
job,
one.
man.
If that ooze had been more aggressive,
I tanked it.
or
Got him to
another
focus on me.
spell casting 2 CR or something, we could have had really ooze.
That's the thing. Like it's how the Bone Naga went. It was like, either I almost kill you guys in a single hit, or you burn me down before it's my next turn. Like it's
At this level, it does really feel like our offense and our defense is really mismatched. Like we have no defense. He fucking died to an ooze, but
You guys are fine.
We
You
have
have
enough
healing
offense
word
to
and
bring
whatnot.
people
If you guys
down pretty
actually
quickly.
take those things, like there are ways to keep you guys up easily.
Yeah.
healing word gets you up for one more turn. You don't get any hit
and
points.
no,
out of
but
it.
when you have 2 creatures and triple that in a party against them,
yeah.
they have to either keep focusing the one character that they kept down or try and get some of the rest of you down some. Having one character going down and going up all the time still is being a tank.
Yeah.
But I was also watching an episode of something that was talking about how no one really RPs what would happen to a character that encounters going unconscious multiple times in one setting. What that would do to a person's psyche.
I feel like you're not. That's a dangerous way to tank, because anytime if in that time period between when you go down and the next healer gets a healing word on you, you take much damage, you can start auto failing your death saves, and those last the whole encounter.
Yeah,
So,
but
like, that's-
most lesser intelligent creatures are gonna try and get you down so they can address the other threats in the room. More intelligent creatures will try and scamper off with your guy if they want to survive and say, I'm going to kill this guy if you don't let me go. And then really bad guys are the ones that are going to try and knock you down at it for good. The guys that have a vendetta against you will probably be like, nope, you got to die. So it doesn't happen that often. You roll one death save, but it's a roll of the die. You got half chance to make a fail, half chance to get up, and if multiples of you have heal spells, it's a very good chance that person won't even have to make a save by the time it comes over.
The natural ones being 2 death saves just scares me so much.
That's makes it real.
Also real rare.
Also, if somebody comes over and hits you in melee, it's a crit, right? And that's 2 death saves.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, the DM's got to role play what the different intelligence levels of creatures would do.
Yeah.
Not a lot are going to go for that killing blow. That's why the oozes stopped at Illum's down form.
No, he's not a threat.
I said both of them were going to hit, but I redacted that as soon as Illum went down because they wouldn't have attacked him. They would have attacked something else.
Oh, this is not going to be right.
What?
This cord, that's not going to
It's okay. We're just sitting around.
Seth's putting the baby to sleep.
Oh, should we fix the camera while nothing's going on?
Seth doesn't want to watch our
He's been
faces.
watching at that funny angle.
We just
No,
did
they
for the
were
battle,
fighting.
Yeah.
so you could see the board.
It's not really cooling off in here. I mean, it's not
No.
bad, but I would
No, you can't.
I thought it would get cold.
It's supposed to go
It's
back
not
soon. I think we had it all the way back for the pillow before. I just need to lift it up a little.
A little more.
No,
No,
that's
that's
fine.
good. Never mind.
So, do you think moving the chair would change anything in this room?
Yeah,
No, you're just not
I mean,
in.
maybe a little. I think 5 bodies
I
is a
think it
lot for
stays
to
in
be
like this
fighting
way.
against.
That's now he sees
I
on.
don't
Now he
think
sees
it's
the
bad.
side of your head.
This is about the
Yeah, I guess
temperature
the side of
that
your
it is
head's
in my
in it.
apartment, I think.
It's definitely better than it is downstairs. It's just not cool in any way to me.
You did put me in the right spot though to be right in front of the.
Yeah, sorry, my
Fan.
freeze you out now.
No, I doubt it. I was not joking. I was saying that this is probably the advantageous spot in the room. Back to figuring out how I'm gonna kill you.
No. Just kill Keeler. He was the one who did all the damage. Or kill Morden. He was the one who blinded
Kill
him.
Morden for the blindness. Because
Yeah,
that's
as
the
soon
only
as I,
reason
as
he
soon as
went
I heard
down
he
so
was blind, it's
fast.
like, oh, it's scorching great.
I was trying
Yeah.
to figure out if I should.
Yeah. As many hits in with advantage as you can get before the next save throw.
I'm very glad you did that. when
He
you
was
did.
gonna back into his home until the blindness wore off. So
yeah.
I was planning if you did darkness, he was gonna bamf out, and then you would have only been fighting the ooze, and then he'd come back after darkness wore off,
Yeah,
and then
that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, I feel like darkness against a creature that is so reliant on sight would be really inhibitive.
and
Yeah.
I was expecting you that to go through your head.
But then, like, also would screw over
I was gonna-
everybody else.
Very few of us have dark vision.
So I was like,
Not
And that
dark
way-
vision doesn't affect it. Like
Oh.
it's magical darkness.
Oh.
Nothing works.
So literally, you'd be the only
Even
one to
Yeah.
see it.
even the light spell doesn't work in there. It actually fizzles.
Yeah. I feel like that's about as useful as fog cloud. Like it just fucks over everyone equally.
not me.
Well,
Right.
if you're
Well,
trying,
good luck.
it's good for
Have
trying
fun.
to.
I'm out.
It's good
Good
for
luck
trying
ever
to
getting healed.
escape.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
more escape or
Yeah,
But
if I
even-
go unconscious, you'll be able to see me.
We'll just
Close your
It was-
eyes and walk over.
Yep. It was dark. I fell asleep. Thought it was nighttime.
so we make it back to the village.
Well,
Do we sleep
the
then?
house is
City.
still MIA.
That's
Yeah,
right.
But we
I
said
forgot
when
he
he
was
was
on the
still
other
here
end of
that we were going
I
back
was
to
thinking he
sleep.
was being awfully quiet.
He disappeared through the shimmer.
guys.
It's very stealthy.
Yeah, where'd he go?
Hey,
It's
so
Friday.
since we're just sitting here,
Tomorrow is Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Show off some of my nerdiness.
Also, sort of sitting here doing the internet. Hi.
There's one person. So because I figured that the Lord of the Rings figures weren't nerdy enough, I started getting some of the Warhammer figures.
Nice.
Look at how freaking detailed these things are.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Is it
Painted. Hard when you're holding the thing itself to actually paint it.
is it glued? Like how is
It's
it?
a
on it?
sticky tack.
Yeah, Alice came back. He's not stealthy anymore.
I've been here for so long.
Back to town.
Hey, he does that. I don't think we even would have noticed.
Oh, this is it's Warhammer or Warhammer 40k?
Warhammer.
Okay. Well, it was 40k because of all the.
It's very
impressive-
futuristic
yeah,
and stuff.
The
Yeah.
armor. It's a dwarven flamer dude.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Human Vader.
Plesiosaurus is only CR2.
Yeah, that's impressive. Good job.
It's
painting.
pretty fun. The metallic guys kind of naturally look better than they should because
Tiny.
they just reflect the light how
Yeah.
something's supposed to. Yeah, that was fun. Aren't you impressed? Validate me, Michael.
Yep, I was. It's very shiny and
Thank
cool
you.
looking. Like you said, it's pretty like detailed.
Yeah, I love like the leather straps and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah, it's
and
like-
how like buckles and everything.
Little beard and
Yeah, now that I've
There's
seen
like a
this,
little
I'm
gauge in there.
oh yeah, wow.
totally willing to
A little trigger and
give you more than you think.
It's pretty good. I'm not sure if I have the dexterity to get
That's our
some of
next
those
encounter.
finer details.
I bet you do.
Sometimes I even have trouble like holding onto a die.
I'm pretty
Like
sure mine
just
would
singular
look
dice. Like
like a
sometimes I
child
just
being
like
made up
shake.
on the first time.
I don't really know why that is.
Like that too. I've never had steady hands. My parents used to joke that I could never be a surgeon.
So like my fingers are correct on this hand, but they must have like broken or something. There's like this gap here. I don't know why.
yeah, that must have. That's weird.
My parents must have broken their fingers when I was a child.
Yeah, no, my fingers are quite perfect anyway. One pinky is gone.
Oh yeah.
And this one's hard to see, but
Never
I broke
mine.
the last bone in this thumb, and now the thumbnail's growing back in with a much more extreme curve than the other one.
Hmm.
And you can't see it, but there's a like big,
So,
fairly large bump in the middle of the last bone in the middle of the thumb pad now.
Huh.
I think I
Extra
fractured a
work.
bunch of my fingers doing like boxing.
Hmm.
It's a little embarrassing.
that seems like
With
yeah.
the gloves on.
Ah,
Yeah.
must have been doing it wrong.
Just have delicate little fingers.
I've only
So
This
ever
one I
broken
just
my
broke
arm.
getting hit by a car though. That one less,
Are we ready to continue
reasonable.
then, or
I'm ready.
All right,
Okay.
let's do it.
Thank you guys for waiting for me.
Of all things,
no
you
worries?
don't even use your arms.
So
Ran into someone. Basically, two people. We both collided, and I like fell back onto my shoulder, and it broke like right here. So we are on our way to town,
yeah,
and my collarbone.
without
Those go.
without incident. You find the inn. They request, I don't know what it is. It's like, we'll say a silver for the night for each of you.
I'll pay it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll-
Thank you.
All this.
yeah, okay.
But oh,
Wow.
carries the big eye. He
And-
pays for our room.
Oh, he does have a crap ton of money.
Riven shells out the coin for
He
each
has way
of
more
you.
money than us. He's now the rich guy.
Um,
You can't pay attention
At
to me.
this point, it's past sunset. You
over
get,
100
grab your food at the inn, and the
Five
rest of
silver
the
pieces.
remainder of
Five-
your day
five
is
total?
yours. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 silver.
The remainder of the day is ours.
Mm-hmm.
So we just
But that's it.
sleep
Remainder of the
and then
night?
look for the guy.
It's just now approaching night.
As we approach town, do we see Richard?
I'm gonna go crash the land. Seems like a reasonable. I got the crap beat out of me, so I need to go sleep.
Yeah, I'm ready for a A good
the
night's rest.
Richard encounter was filler for when we were going to have a long encounter and didn't even burn through the basics of a single thing that I prepared. Anyways,
We'll find Richard later.
eventually, I'll put it
We'll
back.
make him talk.
Maybe Richard was Lephantis' master.
Mhm.
A servant of Levantis.
Well, Alsh and I are now servants of Lephantis too.
Yeah, I'll be watching you.
Your master is there.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll be keeping an eye on these guys.
I'm going to go sleep.
You have the title of traitors because you betrayed Lephantis.
So, Uric goes to sleep.
Balloon goes to sleep.
Balloon goes to sleep.
House goes to sleep.
Okay.
I go to sleep.
You wake up in the morning to find
Zombies.
you have awoken as zombies. You
you
cannot speak.
All your hit dice back on the long rest.
No, you have.
Half.
Okay.
You get,
Well, guys, I'm going to smite myself since I'm a zombie. I can't allow this myself to live.
so not half of used, half of your total.
All right.
And no longer have
Wake
your
up, feeling
armor.
nice and refreshed. Head
Yeah.
downstairs.
Spell
Look around the
points.
common room to see if
Spells.
Dallin.
Dallin is not
Dallin.
present here, but you expect that he'll be, findable within the more populated reaches of the
Yes,
town as it
yes,
becomes
yes.
comes to life slowly.
Do we want to see if we can sell these eyeballs before they rot?
I think that's a good idea.
Do it.
They're not going to last that long.
Can we see about the Nolliers? No.
Yeah, well,
we
think we tried
If we
But,
find
uh,
someone who's buying eyeballs, maybe they'll be into ears too.
So who was it that we sold that siren to? That one that we lugged on the ship for
No,
days.
one of
I
the
got
ship.
I kind of left it on the ship.
And they just threw it over.
They chucked it
I kinda looked
overboard.
and they chucked it overboard.
I
Oh,
think we should
so
be looking for like
That wasn't a great idea. I admit that.
Oh, it was good that you brought proof of the dealing with the problem, or at least the attempts to.
So, a bunch of us are from Rivergrift. Do we have any idea who in the town might want to buy magical creature chunks?
So you know that there's plenty of arcane
Yeah. Seen it.
crafts because they have knowledge and they are of the type of people that like knowledge. So you might be able to find some there, but
Are they like
they
potion
also
makers or-
you
There's a potion.
know of a potion maker. Her name eludes me, and my computer won't turn on.
the smelly druid.
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, it is, but she doesn't live in town. She lives on the outskirts of town in solitude, and frequently supplies what's his name with potions for him to sell on her behalf. So he and he himself, I suppose, is a wizard of sorts in that he is in the business of buying and selling scrolls and perhaps the production of some of the lower level ones. But you have not been monster hunters. You have been vigilantes, so you're not all that familiar with the goings-on of the creation of magical items or who would be experts in such a matter off the top of your heads, even from being
Well, I guess I'll go to Jacqueline's contact and ask him.
Jacqueline's contact.
Yeah, the potion
the
guy.
guy
who
dressed guy.
potions.
Ellis.
For us.
Not
Ellis.
Jacqueline is the dirty druid.
Scrolls Emporium.
Right, and she sells her potions to who?
Scrolls Emporium.
Scrolls Emporium.
Ellis. Wolf.
Ellis.
Yeah, the guy she was supplying with potions.
Gotcha. Yes. You can find him easy enough.
Let's go talk to Ellis.
Yeah.
All right. you all just follow with,
It's
and
been like a day, 2 days. How long since we've been in River Drift?
I think we came back the same day we left, right?
so it was
Or
that
did we spend the night there?
you went to the Order of the Eye and back, took the night, and
That's
then Labyrinth and back, or Temple and back, and that was a night. So it's been 2 nights that you've spent in River Drift. 3 if you count the one where you first came to River Drift at night.
2 days, really, since we spent any time in River Drift. We went through it.
All right, so we find Ellis and say, so Ellis, do you have any interest in magical remnants of creatures, like, say, magical eyes that are capable of shooting very dangerous rays, at least when attached to a living creature?
Or do you know of someone that would be interested in buying, magical creature parts?
Well, anything that would require the use of extra. Let's see what use that word. The use of once magical creatures is beyond my grasp. Some of my sellers that bring me scrolls to sell might be interested, but not me per se. I also don't have much of a market for selling these things. It's not a you look around, and the shop isn't like the Emporium from Guardians of the Galaxy, the Collector. It's not like little weird jars of eyeballs sitting in fluid and stuff. It's specifically a very book and scroll type place. So he doesn't sell much in the terms of magical things like what wizards would use to transcribe spells into their books. It's specifically around books themselves and the sell of these scrolls.
Where could we find one of your suppliers?
Well, they come in every once in a while, but we don't get adventurers all too often that come and buy sell scrolls, and they go for enough to keep me going and my shop running. So they come few and far between.
Are any of them here in town?
Most tend to. We're a big trade city, but most of the learned folk tend to be closer to the capital. They come out here less often than others. But you never know. They could come in, but usually it's a pass by, not a staying.
Okay.
When they come through town, where do they usually stay? Do you know?
Well, funny thing, spellcasters of that level usually have means of quick travel. They don't tend to stay very long, long enough to require a room.
I suppose maybe if any of them come by in the next, short while, next couple of days maybe, would you mind sending them by the salt spray so that we could talk to them for a moment? They might be interested in what we found.
Well, what is it that you found? I don't know that they would just visit for no reason. Wizards are usually some pretty busy men.
Found eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
Hey, you wanna show them the big eyeball?
is a large eyeball. That come from a cyclops? Don't recognize what this could possibly have been from.
Do cyclopses float and have 5 eyes?
They certainly do not. They're most notable for having one large eye.
Then
That is not a cyclops.
I pull out 2 small eyes from the back hole. There you go. So we got more.
Of a different creature?
It's the same
No.
creature.
Same one.
Same creature.
What sort of creature would have multi-sized eyes?
oh, this was the pentaclops that we killed.
It was mostly eyeballs.
The floating
And teeth.
Pentaclops.
Yeah.
Yeah, the floating pentaclops.
Flying
Eyeballs and
pentaclops.
Yeah,
We didn't bring
flying.
the teeth.
Yeah, I don't think I even really want to roll on that.
That's his new name.
Pretty clearly thinks you're talking out your ass because
Where do you think we got these 5 eyes from? Obviously,
That's-
they're from a flying pentaclops.
he can't make sense of it, and your reasoning does not seem to be ringing any bells for him.
Would any of us know what that thing was called?
You know, I guess not.
Might have shot ourselves in the
What,
foot with
what would that roll even
It's like a
be?
floating ball with
Uh,
4
would be
eyes.
our-
It wouldn't be. You'd have to
Nature?
do some research on it because
It's like an aberration.
none of you are particularly studied except for this guy who can't roll for intelligence.
Ah, yes.
We'll start keeping
He's a
track of
scholar
the names of all the creatures
He's-
we've coined.
So none of you are
That's
really
gonna be my
scholars,
only
but
thing
this
to keep
guy
track of.
is a hobbyist reader.
I read a lot. I don't retain very well.
In the future, Illum is going to write a book on strange creatures we encountered, such as the flying sirens and the
Flying.
Floating
floating pentaclops. Yep, I'm going to
Okay.
do this. I'm keeping track.
We'll,
And
we'll,
water sirens.
we'll see how the academic community reacts
Yeah.
to this book once it reaches peer review.
I don't need no peer review. It's going to be spread like wildfire. It's like a grassroots effort.
Yeah, spread like wildfire as a comedy, much like the story of the
Well,
disaster artist.
If people in this start believing a fake history book, I think I can convince the world that these are the true names of these creatures. In 100 years, this will be all the world knows.
You store one copy away in like a time capsule so that many years in the future someone discovers this. Wow, the flying
Ancient. Back in the temple.
The
We'll go
true.
study
that's
the-
called
Space
playing the
generation.
long game.
We'll go study that field on the island and figure out how to recreate it and put it up around.
Yeah,
There we
no,
go.
yeah, they'd have to.
Oh Jesus!
All right. Well, thanks for your help.
You're welcome. Would you like some scrolls?
Do any let you fly permanently?
They do not.
No, thank you.
Anything from your
You're
anything
going to be
different from your previous
so
stuff?
jealous when we hit
Uh,
level 17.
Ice shards.
Have you ever seen one of these potions
I
of
don't
animal
fly.
friendship
Oh, yeah.
before?
There are others I had, but you were so uninterested that you quickly left the shop.
What other ones do you have?
I have-
I'm interested.
Disguise self, floating disc, pyrotechnics, and enthrall, along with some healing potions.
Tell me a bit more about what Enthrall does.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I mean, how much, I can look it up. How much would he know and be able to tell me?
How much does it cost?
No, I just want to know what it does. What's the spell do?
I don't remember.
Well, I'm saying, can I look the spell
Yes,
up? Like,
you
would
may.
the spelled guy, would he know?
Yes, he
You know,
knows.
I'm happy to do the research if it's available.
How much for the floating disc?
I don't have that. That's 100 gold.
And I suppose I would ask him also how much it costs. Before I know what it does.
Floating disc or
Enthrall,
enthrall is 180.
180.
That was your third level spell.
Second,
Second. Oh.
Is floating disc a second? Or
Uh,
first level?
it's one or the other. It's probably a first.
Tensor's floating disc, right?
Yeah.
I mean, long con metagaming. I want that scroll eventually.
Tensor's is first level. The floating disc is level 1.
That's what I thought.
Uh-oh. Come back, Ty.
Creatures of your choice. Any creature of your choice. They can hear you.
I feel like this thing is not charging. It says okay.
If you're fighting it already, it gets advantage. But if it fails, it has disadvantage on perception checks made to perceive any creature other than you. So it's distraction. That can be fairly handy for us, but I don't have 100 gold.
Yeah.
And we managed to do the same thing with Oust, even without a spell, because he's a sneaky bastard.
I'll take one of your healing potions.
All right, that will be 50 gold.
50 gold out of my backpack. Hand it over.
All right, there you have it. So for reference, when you use that, that's 1 or 2d4 plus 2.
Oh, wait a minute.
D4 plus.
Not
It's a bonus action to use on yourself, an action to use
sir.
it on
You
someone
learn
else.
Enthrall. Good, no, good
Can I learn Enthrall?
It's a warlock spell. Like, how do
Then
warlock
yes,
spells work?
I
Do you
could.
just, like, pick any of them, or do you have to pick one as you level up? Or...
I'll pick him as I level up.
Oh, okay.
So when this guy gets paralyzed and this guy goes down, somebody.
Only the one that's not paralyzed.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't cure paralysis, only lack of HP.
It would be a good way to allow Oust to sneak around somebody. Or
Enthrall?
multiple people, actually. Yeah. You can get
Well, so far, just getting them to try to kill me seems to be,
very
working.
effective.
So,
You're good at it.
Things that like it to attack things with big ass swords.
yeah, but that's
And down 50 gold.
it's fair. It's fair.
Bards can also do it. That makes sense.
Kind of one of the
Yeah,
features
they're
of the
charisma-based
sword, actually.
spellcasters.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do it.
I didn't. Oh, you're
I don't think
charisma-based too, aren't you?
sorcerers can draw. Level 3?
2.
I don't think.
Is this at all near the Scribe's Rest? Scribe's Rest?
Yeah, it's not all that
That's
far.
the way.
You
Yeah, he's
can-
right across the street.
Sorcerers.
It's not right
yeah,
across the
wizards can't
street,
learn it.
but it's a couple
They can learn
streets
all
over.
over.
It's pretty easy to find too, because it's a tall
Yeah, I
building.
Gotcha.
It's just warlocks and bards.
Any other purchases?
I'm good.
Shall we go just wander around, look for Dallin? Is that the correct name?
It is the correct
Yes,
name.
the correct pronunciation.
Is that what you want to do?
We don't have any other guesses as to
Where
where
you
to
want?
unload these eyeballs.
I don't.
Try down by the docks, but I don't think
No, just throw him in the water.
Yeah.
I'll probably throw them in a pot of soup.
I'd be
Which
interested
we
to see
could
what
then
happened
pour
after
into
that.
the chalice.
And then when they eat the soup, they turn into spectators.
Let's
Like a
not
virus.
feed people at soup.
That we come
Well-
back, the town is
Okay, well, I
destroyed.
think I'm going to go try to find that rockin' band and maybe bump into Dallin on the way.
Yeah, do we have a place to meet Dallin, or was it just River Drift in general?
There, you were given like a couple of places that he could be. He doesn't try to be conspicuous.
Of course, yeah.
But there are some key places that you can find him during different times of the day that you're made aware of.
Oh,
we'll go.
let's go to one of
to
those.
those. Yeah.
Just being the idea that it's a non-issue for you guys to find him if you're looking for him.
All right, let's look for him.
So find him.
And he's also like pretty stealthy, but like if he sees someone that he knows, he will make himself, visible to you guys. Unless you're also trying to be stealthy, in which you may miss each other.
So,
Sneak dispatch.
just before we bump into Dallin, we're just planning complete honesty pretty much with these guys, right? Like, we don't need to.
Particularly see a reason to hide any of
Okay,
this
just
from them.
making sure. Because often we like
chalice.
start a conversation and then we're like, oh, should we or shouldn't we?
I am decent at deceiving if we want to go that route.
Yeah, so,
What do we want to do?
I mean,
To what end would we deceive them?
Yeah.
if we
we
knew
wanna
what the
keep-
chalice did, maybe more. But I think you guys are right. We're probably not going to learn that at the library.
They're probably our best bet to actually making use of it. If in general we think we can trust them, which is the assumption we've got
At
going
least.
on since we're trying to get them to work with us.
I mean, Aladrin likes us, right? So,
Yeah.
We have no reason not to trust them right now.
Not yet. All right. So, total honesty, and we'll hand over anything that they want
Yeah, with the expectations
of some sort of reward.
And show them the giant eyeball.
Maybe they'll have use for it.
They might
Maybe
know,
they'll pay
they
for it.
might know what creature has one giant floating eye and 4 little ones.
If they don't, then we've coined the new name. We're the discoverers.
Queen
Floating
covered.
bed clubs.
Yep. First come, first serve for names.
All right.
Did you also come up with the flying heartbeat, flying
Like
or
sirens?
swim? Yeah, flying
I came up with
siren?
flying sirens, yeah. I didn't come up with the floating
I came up with
He came with that,
pentaclops.
yeah.
Right.
Someone else tossed in floating.
I just like the idea that it's specifically Illum that's deciding to
Oh.
create these names for creatures he's never seen, and he's trying to author them as his own naming convention.
Well, that's what I'm going to be doing now. And I'm going to make sure to try to name things going forward.
All right.
In this
Good
case,
thing-
I just
good thing
accepted
really-
his name.
None of us have a high
I'll
nature
credit him
roll
too as being
or-
the
I
name.
appreciate it.
Roll. What's your arcana?
Well, given like
Being
all of your
proficient,
guys'
yeah.
backgrounds,
Yeah, no.
you just wouldn't
Yeah,
We just
know
don't know any of this.
anything about abyssal creatures.
I just meant creatures in general. Like we have
Sea
no
creatures,
rangers,
sort
we
of.
have no high nature rolls, we have
No
we don't even have very many
scholars.
high intelligent base rolls.
Yeah.
History, Arcana, and Nature are all into
Yeah.
We're not a very intelligent group.
Yeah, we're doing
So-
fine.
I like
Yeah,
our
love
plan. I think this will have
You're doing great. We figured out what a pentaclops is.
yeah, we're making strides.
What?
What about the
We're
floating?
doing great. We figured out what a pentaclops is.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's
Okay.
find out.
Maybe those decisions are charisma based. Anyways, so you
Wow.
go and find
I have-
down.
A lot of charisma.
Yes, I know.
Strength based.
I'll persuade you all.
Think with the muscles.
So you find Dallin. He makes himself visible for you guys, and you talk. You find him.
Well, we
Ready to make our report?
We went to the temple.
yeah, went to the temple. We found some stuff.
Some things we could not bring with us, but we think you'll find interesting, and some things we could bring with us, and we think you'll find interesting.
All right. So, all right, I'll get you guys back to the hideout then. He brings you to the back of this building, whatnot. Find a similar wagon like you had seen before. It's a covered wagon. Got a couple horses. Pulls out 5 blindfolds and requests that you all put them on.
I still have my other blindfold in my bag. I just
Fine,
kept since I never took it back.
Oh, sorry. Yep, I just put on my
I'm just gonna
blindfold.
start collecting
Not doing
blindfolds.
anything sneaky.
You dropped your blindfold.
Yeah, then I picked it back up.
You put yours on, Oust?
Yes.
All right. So again, unless you guys decide to do anything during this travel time, you have the time to the just bumps in the road. Nothing really comes of anything, and you, similar to before, the wagon grinds to a halt. Dallin leaps off the wagon, comes back around to the back, and says, "You guys can take off your blindfolds."
Take off my blindfold.
And you come back out, and there's no the cliff isn't there. It's not a big cliff.
Can I inside check that one?
He hasn't really said anything to you.
Well, so it sounded like you were saying that we're somewhere other than where we were last time.
It appears to be.
Yeah, and so I'm suspicious of Dallin and just wanting to make sure that he doesn't seem to be like trying to signal somebody else.
Make an
or
insight
anything
check.
like
Pulling
that.
sword out,
Yeah.
hidden dagger. Like, did I make an insight check on him as well?
True, 19.
Yeah, we'll go with your roll.
What did you get?
That is 13.
He appears to
Higher
be
bonus,
going
dice.
through the motions. Like he's not like looking, making any weird gestures. He's not looking around furtively. His hand isn't by his sword, but it's just the area around here is noticeably not the same place that you were before.
Okay.
But you do, so what you do see is it's grasslands around here, and it's hilly, and he leads you forward towards this hill, and you see what looks like a little hole in the ground, and he steps into the hole.
He went first?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go.
Yeah, I go. I don't hesitate.
Yes.
Follow him.
So he leads you through. As soon as you step into this hole, the terrain looks familiar. But that's a little weird. You're not really sure what's going on, but this part of the journey looks familiar.
Can I look back at where we came?
Yeah,
Do I see a hole?
it looks like a hole. It looks like grasslands, hilly grasslands outside.
Okay.
You see the wagon.
Nothing's like shimmering or
Nope.
about to throw Cyclops stalks at me.
Not from a visual perspective.
Okay.
So
Suspicious way to
Can I
answer.
Arcana? That's intelligence, but
not
direct.
not. So this is the fun part about not having an intelligent party is that you can put weird things at you, and you just be like, "Nope, you have to accept this now."
We're good at accepting things like floating pentaclosses,
hmm So
marine voids.
you were led back into that same room. Dallin disappears back into the back as you see again before you this older elven female woman with the hood pulled over her eyes. You can't see her eye. You just see again the embroidered gold single eyeball that appears roughly at her forehead height. And says,
Reminds me out loud. A Cyclops.
Oh man. This is like having a full party of grog. What was that? Someone just threw food at the back of your head, man. Anyways,
Roll initiative.
so
I would like to rage.
so she welcomes you. She says, "I see you've returned. That was relatively quick. It's only been a couple of days. What news do you bring?"
Does the name Lephantis mean anything to you?
She gives you a head tilt and says, "Well, yes, that's a very old name. How did you come across it?"
We seem to have met him, or it, at this place you sent us.
Or something that believed itself to be Lephantis.
You can't see her eyes, but she because you can't see her eyes, you don't get a lot of the facial expressions. She seems to not be all too affected by the knowledge, by what you're saying. Her voice remains calm, and she says, "Met him? Seems highly unlikely."
What form does Lephantis take?
Lephantis takes many forms.
One of which a floating eye with 4 pentaclaps of 5 eyes, 1 big one and 4 small ones.
One big eye, 4 small eyes, you say?
Yes.
Dangling out of the big body, like a circular body.
Tentacles, you describe.
Tentacles with eyes on the end of them, yes.
The mouth.
With lots of teeth and a giant tongue.
Well, this may prove to be the answer as to why we could never get scouts to come back. I believe what you're speaking of is a spectator.
Oh man.
Pretty sure it was a floating.
We believe it's the floating pentaclaps.
So you say Lephantis takes many forms.
He does. He has not been seen on this plane in a very long time.
It did come through a strange shimmering thing.
Yeah, this creature we've
Doorway.
described appeared suddenly, and it appeared as though it suddenly became visible, or perhaps came through some kind of arcane doorway. Although I don't know of any such.
It was definitely a one-way doorway.
Stuff bounced back when we
At
tried
least
to
for
touch
us.
it.
Bounced back. I can't say that I'm aware of the phenomenon of which you speak.
Well, we
Are you sure it wasn't a trick of the light?
It was definitely not light.
Am I bruised?
We slept with this. I think
I
we got
mean, you've had some time to rest, and with the effects of healing in Dungeons and Dragons, things like bruises
Bruises
tend
don't
to
really-
heal pretty quickly.
All right.
6
Okay.
hours and gone.
I say to her, this spectator claimed to have knowledge that it wouldn't share and was guarding a large chalice that in some ways seemed connected to its knowledge, but it wouldn't tell us any of this knowledge that it was protecting.
And it became aggressive when we attempted to pry any more information out of us and eventually attacked.
The fact that it was actively hiding away information is proof enough that this must be what our knowing mistress was guiding us towards, if he was indeed hiding a piece of history.
Well, we were unable to extract any information from the creature, but we did bring back the artifact and perhaps some instructions on how to use it. There were five tapestries in the room.
Well, there were more than that. I just did not describe the
Okay.
all of the various
I
procedures were, but there
start
were
to pull
probably
out-
about 7 or so different tapestries.
I start to pull out the tapestry we rolled up in the bag, holding it, and unroll it on the floor.
She lifts her finger and it stands itself upright
And then I
for viewing.
pull the chalice out, hold it up next to it. The chalice tapestry near the link here.
She brings it closer to her and she leans forward in her chair to get a good look at the tapestry, and she then another flick of the wrist rolls it up and places it back on the ground and does a similar motion and brings the chalice to her in front of her, and she actually holds this, and she begins focusing on it. She does some magical gestures with her hand, and then you see a flash come from her hand, and then you see like a green flash come from the chalice, and you hear a scream, ah! And she is frozen in place.
Oops.
Grasping the chalice. Immediately, the darkness expels itself, and you see various people that you had never seen before, except for you, lining, surrounding you with things like bows and wands. They all have them pointed at you.
Do one of these.
And someone from the back behind where the chair was, like they're all shouting incoherent things. There is a surprise and a confusion at this moment, and you watch as someone does that is in similarly uplifted position garbs as the woman in the chair, puts his fingers up to his neck, and you just hear a booming silence, and immediately the chattering and yelling ceases, but they're all drawn at you.
I dispel my weapon or whatever.
Yeah. House, any reactions?
No, I don't move.
Okay.
I'm just standing there, my arms crossed, looking.
So he yells out, "What have you done to our mistress?"
We didn't
We
know it
haven't
would
done
do
a
that. We didn't have any reaction from the chalice. We even drank from it and nothing happened. I have no idea what this artifact does.
Make a persuasion check.
Hey, help.
Nope.
Did I get any kind of advantage?
Nope.
Well, that was a 2.
Oh man, you rolled a 5. Like it was not too.
I haven't rolled anything decent, although I rolled like a history check.
All right, so he says, "Drop your weapons immediately."
No one's holding it.
Yeah, but that's what he says. Like it says, "Unsheathe your weapons, drop them to the floor."
We have no idea what this is.
Drop my
This wasn't
hammer on the
us.
floor. I set my shield down too.
And then he makes like a little head nod, and other people from the back come up, and they keep their eyes on you as they
Collect their weapons.
collect these things and move them away from you. And he says, I don't know what you've done, but you have attacked our high seer in our presence.
We only did what you asked us to do. We went to this place, we got this chalice, we brought it back. That's all we've done.
You saw everything we did. She clearly triggered something in the artifact. We had no idea this would happen.
See. Are any of you, well, actually, he also calls in a couple of others, the robed individuals.
Ornately robed.
No, these are
Is there anything we can do to help her?
regulars.
I didn't keep lesser restoration prepared. I could, heal, but she doesn't look injured.
Um,
And I
One
don't
of-
think casting a spell on her at this point.
One of the individuals then comes back up to the guy in the rafters and whispers something into his ear. He then announces, if you are truly of noble intent, do any of you have a method of removing a curse?
I could prepare one in 24 hours, but
First.
I don't.
I think it's restoration.
Even
First. I'm not sure I
Are
will.
you should probably not make that claim unless we're sure.
I would know what lesser restoration did.
Right. I'm giving you some time to look at your spells and seeing what they.
No, not a curse. No, I could cure disease or a condition. No, I have no specialty in magical curses.
Okay.
I do not either.
That's I think it's beyond my
None
level.
of my available spells do have anything to do with curses.
Let's see if I can surge into something.
Keep casting spells, hoping that you get a surge that will help her.
I don't know if that'll go over that well.
Probably kill everyone in the room first.
Well, I'll get us out.
Kill myself probably before.
You'll probably like grow old and die.
Oh, I could. Can a unicorn cure curses?
Probably.
Can what?
Can a unicorn cure curses?
I don't think
Can you
so.
curses?
But anyway,
Explore options here.
I
so
can detect magic.
he
That's about it.
Ooh, that'd be
You
dangerous.
could see what kind of magic is. Like,
what? I'm just curious.
Calm emotions.
So he, I would like Oust to roll a perception check, and I would like Morden to roll one also with advantage.
Perception.
Yeah.
If it's like
Were you saying I have advantage or no?
You do not, because this is a past perception.
22.
15.
So
2.
I get +5. I'm proficient in perception. and I managed to get
you
17.
both have seen a couple of different things in the past.
Actually, I'm not perception. Perception.
Oust, when going in between jobs with what?
Vorn?
Vorn, yes, I was thinking it started with an F for some reason. Vorn, you have seen in the past. You didn't get to see Elohim very much, but you did see that on occasion Oberon would attend to wounds of various members in a magical.
You're gonna have to back up about 10 seconds. My audio went out.
Okay, so you have seen in the past that Oberon has in the past attended to the wounds of members of the Resistance in a magical fashion. And you, in conjunction with the symbol knowledge, you also have seen Elohim doing the same thing. You've seen both Elohim and Oberon performing healings, magics in the past.
I would say I don't have any specialty with curses, but I know people, our leaders back at the Resistance are proficient with magical healing. They might be able to help.
Make another persuasion check.
Oh no.
And since I have
Have the knowledge or not?
since I have a sort of hold on, since I have a
Yeah,
stake in knowledge.
make it with advantage, because I would have assumed that because both of you have the successful
Yeah,
knowledge
roll?
that Oust would have helped you.
that's what I was gonna say. I kind of like chime in with a story of what I've seen Oberon do in the past that might be relevant as a sort of help.
No, I haven't rolled twice yet. That's just
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you
I
rolled
rolled
the
a
second
2
time.
for my previous
And then he
persuasion
gave him
roll.
advantage.
Oh, and then
So-
you rolled 2 again,
Okay,
just for the
so-
first first.
For the first one.
Oh.
Chances are very high it'll be
That was his third two, Seth.
That's a 2.
No, roll the die. Don't just pick it up and put it back.
Does the story that I tell of something Oberon has done in the past give any, resonation?
No, I can roll another 2, man. I got this.
Unfortunately, not. If you were the one helming it, I would have had you do it. But so he.
I just can't talk anymore.
He's
Never
just
speak.
he's
Doesn't trust me as far as
doesn't trust you. He says that if you truly harbor no ill intent, I will allow you to seek this help, but you will have 3 of our members accompanying you in this venture. We cannot have the fact that you know of this place become anything more than it already is.
That's entirely agreeable. I think your members would help us persuade the resistance leaders that your group would be an assistance and would be worth spending resources to help.
About that, I thought your place was in the side of a cliff.
We saw the cliff as soon as we stepped into the hole.
I thought we were just. It looked like the inside was familiar once we stepped.
The
into
inside
hall.
was familiar.
Yeah,
Oh, we're already inside.
I think that's fair.
Also, guys, if we power
I think
level
what
me to
he's
level
trying
9,
to
I can remove the
say
curse.
Just
is we
asking
really
why
cannot
the-
return
Yeah.
here of our own
On my
will.
3rd level spell slot, I can remove
But we're
the
happy to
curse.
take your
Oh,
friends
you'll get
with
a
us.
3rd level spell until
9. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it next level.
Power level me to level 9, and I can remove this curse with my 3rd level spell
That sounds
slot.
like something a DM would do.
I'll only have to skip 5 levels.
There's a burst of inspiration.
So, with this knowledge in tow, they escort you out weaponless, but they are followed close behind to outside of the tunnel.
Only one person ever put down their weapons. We never.
Well,
I put mine down.
I assumed you did, but if you don't say anything in the future, and
Silence implies consent
silence implies consent.
in this context.
So,
I thought, Katie, you said that.
In this, we looked this up recently. Not me and Katie, me and Mark.
okay. So,
What were you complying with?
Have you put our weapons down?
They took our weapons, and we're just leaving
Oh, I took
weaponless.
our weapons. Not mine.
yeah,
Good
that's
thing
that's
someone
not
can conjure weapons.
that's not how this works. Yes, they saw you dispel it, so they have a quick.
Probably
they
should
have
have
a
just set it on the ground.
quicker
time.
eye, heavier eye on you. But they
I don't need a weapon to smite people.
so they
Smite with my fist.
Dallin comes back out with you.
Just as melee.
And requests that you put your blindfolds back on. You don't see him give the blindfolds to your accompanying 3 members, and requests that you get in the back of the wagon.
I guess I thought of this a little bit late, but Aladrin might be particularly helpful in persuading help coming if you felt like sending him as one of the 3 members. I believe he has a relationship with the people we are seeking out.
Yeah, so I guess I probably should have just done this, but he is one of the people that that actually accompanies you.
That was funny. I was about to request that he be brought to. I missed him.
I didn't recognize you in those nice robes. Oh, hope you're doing well.
Yeah. I'm very concerned because I helped you guys get here. I think they're sending me along on this to make sure that I too have harbored no ill intent. So, best clear our names quick. Yes.
Don't worry.
We'll take care of this out.
Yeah.
Good. You guys put on your masks, your blindfolds.
Yeah.
Silence implies consent.
Just in the future, I just don't trust these Order of the Eye people anymore.
Okay.
I lost all trust in them.
Took your weapon.
You hear a clattering as your weapons are placed in the wagon.
Okay. Maybe now I gained some trust back.
Yes.
I don't hate them anymore.
I was thinking I should not have dropped my shield. A weapon.
They figured the idea of leaving you blindfolded before giving you back your weapons was the best method of safety. And in so doing, you then feel the bumples and stuff of 3 other bodies entering the back of the wagon with you.
Did we go out through the hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then unless you guys do anything else, a small talk from Aladrin, I imagine, and you are led back to town.
So we're going to get Oberon?
Yeah, Oberon and Elohim were both trained magical healing.
If we put our blindfolds back on, or they'd give us a third blindfold.
They're not. I assume that they take the blindfolds each
That was
time.
never mentioned. I kept it.
I'm not gonna let you game me into having a bag of blindfolds.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be useful in the future against people.
So unless, if you're gonna try and slide these under the DM, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna have to explicitly say, "I want to try and keep my blindfold," and I will let you roll for it.
Well, I want to keep my blindfolds.
I am allowed to say if you forgot to do something, you can't backtrack. But you can't do that to the DM.
So once we get, you can say that you tried to keep your blind.
Yes, you may.
I thought we're back to town now, or are we still moving?
Depends. Is there anything you wanted to do besides just basic small talk that you would have with Aladrin?
I should use those as my sorcery points. Just eat them.
I spend
Oh,
3 sorcery points.
Works.
Anything from you,
Spell
Alice?
slots too.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm along for the ride. It seems appropriate.
So at this point, you are arrived back to town. You are Dallin is not none too pleased.
Yeah.
And he takes your blindfolds off.
I'm putting this as a note, so I always remember it. Don't let Morden talk.
He took our blind.
Don't let Morden talk. Can I keep that blindfold? Pretty nice. I persuade him and keep him on.
He says no. He does not trust you guys at this moment. And
Side, please. You guys just aren't friendly. I don't know if we want these allies anymore.
so it's night now by this time. So
We're on the road. We're not going to River Drift. We're heading to.
you were headed to River Drift to drop you guys back off in the neutral location.
Nighttime again, so I get back to the inn.
I send a message to Morden and I ask if it's safe to reveal our resistance location to Order of the Eye.
They revealed their secret location to us, and I think it's
Wow.
the only way to gain their trust at this point.
I think if we want to do the same thing, blindfold.
This is a private conversation.
We should trust them.
I think it's worth gaining them as allies. We can always back up camp if we.
Okay. If you're good with it, I'm good with it.
I'll give us
take
back
the
our weapons.
responsibility for that.
Yeah, they were you when the blindfolds were taken off. You saw that they were in a bundle next to you guys, and you were allowed at that point to rearm
I
yourselves.
put it on my back. I'll make it without the shield.
Would they have taken all the weapons off of our person, or just the things we were holding?
I mean, if you had anything in your pack, they wouldn't have necessarily known that. But yeah, so they had what you had out and accessible, immediately accessible. You get the sense that you had extra eyes in the wagon that would have been able to detect if you started rummaging through your pack for a weapon.
Blindfolded.
Blindfolded.
Well, I could have punch smited them.
Yes, you could have.
Punch smite the wagon, blow it up.
Might not be
So-
good for relations.
With that, you can pay another silver per person for a room.
I'll take that.
I feel kind of guilty.
I got it.
He has like 195 gold or something crazy.
Not anymore.
Oh, from all of
I guess he spent 50 to for on the potion.
Healing potion.
So he has 145.
Just the fancy plants over here.
I see what you did.
And so I assume you wake in the morning.
I assume so as well.
We're dead.
Hope so.
You died.
I lie awake at night trying to figure out how I can be more persuasive.
Riven, after having aged a couple years, is reaching the end of his life and is having trouble.
After a few more surgeries. That sounds like
Morden fails at persuading himself he can be more persuasive.
Yeah.
His pep talk fails.
Well, I'm at the salt spray inn.
Yeah.
I just like to walk over to that job board that was
Mhm.
there to see if there's anything new or interesting that's been posted.
Sure.
Then we're
What
looking for
kind of
Noliers.
stuff are you looking for?
Interclops.
Looking for
Flying
monster
sirens.
hunting?
Just anything that
Or
could catches my eye, or
what would catch your eye? What are you looking for?
things that are.
Are you looking
affecting
for
the world.
money, or are you looking for?
Yes, that would draw my eye if there's a high money thing, but other like if there's any I don't know, political or conflict or anything like that going on.
You get one that is there are two. There's one that speaks of a mermaid menace, merfolk menace off the coast of a swampy region to the north and slightly northeast of Riverdrift. And you also get one that is about there have just been mysterious deaths in the town, and they haven't really.
In Riverdrift?
There's
In Riverdrift?
Yeah. And there aren't really many details. There's just a contact. You know the contact to be the head of the guard, and because I don't have my name generator up, I can't make one. But it is, like a higher up that you. Oh wait, you wouldn't be aware of because you're not from here. But if you pointed it out to anybody else, they would be able to identify the person you imagine of. But that one doesn't really have any information. It really just has a contact. The other one is more explicit, that they know what the problem is, and they mention who to talk to about it.
Convey it to everybody.
I don't have monetary values at
That's
this point, but
Yeah.
they seem to be of value for you
We're
to.
easily impressed, frankly.
Yes,
There's a name generator, a bunch of random names.
that's the one I use.
It is?
Yes.
Wow.
It's literally the first thing that pops up when you search for fantasy
Wow.
name generator.
Is
I can't use that one because it is already a thing.
The first name is Azan Nima.
I don't
Rujo
use the first
Vestager.
one. I search around until I find one I like. Anyways.
Okay.
And Skull Orb.
I just
we have more
I
pressing matters
figure
than these things
you're
are-
not
These are also some
probably
human
not
names.
going to approach these while you have 3 people.
3 extra party members.
Yeah, hey, let's do this. It's in their best
Hey,
interest
we
we
got-
stay alive. It's this way,
It was
guys.
just as we're there, just checking what was.
What are all these merfolk doing on the path to the resistance camp?
I understand why you always get a persuasion roll of 2 now.
What if your
Alright.
extra rolls really high?
So
on
I
you
gotta
one?
work on my character.
found a couple
voice.
of
I need to
jobs,
sound less
and
persuasive.
you,
Getting into this.
You can follow up on those whenever you see fit.
Maybe circle it. We'll get back to that quick.
All right. So you do know where it is, where the headquarters is. You know that it will take you a couple of days. And
Yeah, there's Knowles on the way.
We're Knowles.
Where Knowles?
We're Knowles.
Oh, where Knowles. They said where Knowles.
Where Knowles?
People that turn into Knowles.
I tell the 3 Order of the Eye members that we're a few days out.
Mhm.
It's a couple days travel.
So I thought of this, like, would it be possible for me to go and buy a thing of arrows before we leave?
It's not.
Oh, we haven't left yet?
You've not left yet.
You still in the inn, so yeah.
And it's like 20 arrows for a gold piece or something.
Whatever it is in the player's handbook, I just don't have one.
Didn't your like god guy hate ranged weapons and bow and arrows?
You don't know why he's doing this. Last time you saw him with arrows, he was snapping them over his knee.
Those are bolts.
Yeah. Weird guy just snapping an arrow. He always wants to just snap arrows
Really
ritual
good
again.
bolts.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
He just wants to taunt us.
Right. You guys just bought some arrows.
Yeah, 20 arrows for gold piece.
Didn't even
Yeah.
use those
Oh,
arrows
my-
for wood. We could have
2
had
sets
fire.
of them.
Okay, 2 quivers of
Just throw them
arrows
away.
you now have.
Okay. And then, yeah,
And then he snaps
well,
them
whenever
one
we
by
start
one.
our journey, I'll start just snapping up stuff.
So is there anything else you guys would like to prepare for your journey before you set out?
About what time of day is it?
It's morning.
Morning.
As of this morning, I'm gonna just double some of my prepared spells.
Sure.
I assume you don't need to know exactly which.
Nope.
No.
Not unless you decide to not show up for a session, in which case I need an access to your character sheet on Roll20.
Oh, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Aside from switching spells around, I will fast forward us to you. Okay, let me see here.
Okay.
Can we get one more first level spell?
Yeah, I'm short on a first level token.
Yeah, let me have some here. For the next couple of days, I will let you make a couple of herbalism checks.
So we 2 nights?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll use Tides of Chaos on both.
Well, I wouldn't do that because I think I'm gonna address the travel time now, but I may be ending the session soon here so that I can give you guys a fun encounter to play with during travel.
It takes us 2 days. We haven't necessarily gotten.
Yeah, so you may or may not want to
Burn your.
Tides of
For the
Chaos.
second day or just?
Both. Like
Okay.
I can let you hold off on the second one. I'll let you do it on the first one if you like, so that you can still have your Tides of Chaos for battle. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me use it for day 1, but day 2.
Yes, I
We
will let
waited
you
through
roll
day
1 for
one.
advantage and still have access to Tides of Chaos for a battle that will ensue,
So
or
first one's an
potentially ensue.
Wow.
That's 11. So
Yeah, I think you have to hit a 15 or
Yeah.
something to actually find anything. Okay.
I'll hold on for day 2.
So, but would you like to? So what I'm telling you is I can let you do two rolls, one with advantage with Tides of Chaos, one without, but you will still have Tides of Chaos for the battle. Do you want to roll your second
one
day?
more time.
Noise.
Oh,
20?
That's a
Nat
20.
20.
Okay. So I don't know that a nat 20 affects it. It's just,
I beat the DC 15.
So
That's
then,
amazing herb.
Wow.
then I
It was
roll
really easy to find.
something.
15
Yeah.
elemental water.
Mr. Fancy Plants.
Now I get where fancy plants came from. That's selling.
Yeah. So D4 to see how many.
How many?
Yeah.
And
2d6.
2d6. Okay.
If it's below a 4 or above a 10, then there's a.
I hit 4, unfortunately.
So I think 4 or less or 10 or above has a chance for elemental water.
Water. Yeah, 2 to 4. So it's one elemental water.
If you roll above a 75
Oh, on
percentile.
can I get a percentile?
Yeah, that's right.
45. So unfortunately,
Okay.
not. But then I roll a d12, which is the only
no,
one that I don't have of. Roll plus the d12. Yeah, because I have to roll on the ingredients list.
Is it still 2d6?
That makes. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Well, you rolled
Red
a 4, so
changes the
that should map
probability.
to something.
Oh, it does. It does say 2d6 because
No
What
one.
was that one?
no one. Right. Are you tracking for provisions?
We are. Right?
Okay. Then you find food for your second day. So I will let you make 2 survival rolls.
Sweet. 15.
Okay.
And 13.
Okay. I'll say the first day you find enough for you. You're down 1 ration.
Okay.
For the second, but as for everybody else, 2 rations.
So I am breaking these in an attempt to initiate contact at some point with my patron.
Okay,
But
which is a thing. No, I think I have enough to go ahead and actually do that today. So during your first night, after your breaking thing, so I'll say for fun, this happens during your watch.
okay.
So you're the only one up at this point, and you're just idly snapping bows or arrows while you're keeping watch. It's not making too much noise to really draw any attention of anything big, but you are. It's just something idle that you end up deciding to do, and all of a sudden. I haven't really, you don't, so you get a vision, and it's nothing very straightforward. You see from a first person's perspective, and you look down at your hands, but they're not your hands.
Okay.
They're scaly and green. And claws, and you see that around you is a battle that is raging. You focus in your hand, and a blade comes to you.
Okay.
It doesn't look familiar to your blades that you summon, but it is the same ability that you recognize, and you summon this sword and you hack through easily a few entities. These look fiendish in nature, demonic in others, and then you see one large figure in the distance that stands out, wings drawn, humanoid, tail, horns, and it's above the battlefield, direct calling out orders and things, and you know that you need to get him down. And you charge through, and a battle ensues with you and this entity slashing back and forth until you're struck down, and you just hear laughter, and he plunges his spear into your heart, and you're thrust back into
Okay.
reality. Yeah, so that happened.
Okay. Interesting. Did I notice like a snout in my vision while I was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess from the technical speaking, Dragonborn probably have quite the snout in there.
That's
in
what I was
their,
trying to confirm. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I don't really have much. I can't really like reach out to him now, so
He's
I'll
not-
log that away.
Yeah, he's not directly making contact with you at this moment, but he is speaking to you in some manner
Okay.
at this current time.
Sweet.
So yeah, I think we'll call it there unless you have anything else that you would like to do in reference to travel, talk.
Would my character know to care about the distinction between green scales and like shiny green scales?
There isn't one.
There's not
Not even in the D&D rulebook.
chromatic versus.
There's no green spectrum. I don't think.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure either.
I don't think there's
I
a
think green corresponds to.
azure or I don't.
I can't remember because that's
Copper?
black is chromatic.
Is it copper?
Might be.
I don't know what the green. I think the green spectrum might actually be bronze
Might be.
because
I think it's either copper or bronze, whichever one is acid.
yeah, whichever
Yeah.
the one is that
Green is poison.
corrodes into green.
Yeah, black is acid.
Green is poison.
Green is poison.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just okay.
Yeah, it is a chromatic spectrum.
Okay.
But you have not encountered many. But I believe Vorn was he red or was he bronze?
I don't remember what we said he was.
I'm not sure either.
I have a feeling he was of the chromatic nature, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But you currently don't have any reason to have such biases,
Okay.
having not really encountered many.
Okay.
Except for Vorn, and only for a short time.
Sounds good. I feel like I need to go talk to Vorn though. Follow a dragon.
I was thinking it'd be cool to talk to Vorn and see if he knows anything about the eyeballs.
Yeah.
You want to do what?
I thought it'd be interesting to see if Vorn knows anything about the eyeballs, because I mean he's a wizard.
Also known as a spectator to some less well-educated folk.
We got there first. I think we get to name it.
Older lore books may disagree with you.
Well, they're all lies.
Yeah.
So
Books are lies.
Books are
Nobody
lies.
reads them.
Sure. That's the thing to glean from this campaign. Books are lies.
Yep.
The Illuminati is real. Everything is a lie.
Illuminati has an eye. Order of the Eye.
Oh
my
gosh.
Confirmed.
Oh man, you guys got me. I can't hide it any longer.
What if the Order of the Eye is controlled by the elves?
It's
all a trap.
Just ruined the whole story, thanks.
Yep.
Is that a quiver of arrows at his side?
Bolts. I got a crossbow on the back too, if you look. Although it's a little
Cool.
iffy.
I thought for a second that it might have been a bridge for like other parts of the model, and I was going to say that they have a Dremel tool in there if you wanted to remove it, but it's actually it is actually
Yeah, I got all the actual supports off. Little, mooring on the back. The crossbow's a little bit.
Do we want to talk next section?
I'm down. Does Seth have anything anything, any future knowledge for next session?
Let me look.
The 22nd is the next day.
It's a Friday.
That
Friday,
was
2 weeks
today.
from today.
Sorry, I'm having family come in
The 23rd.
that weekend
Yeah. Oh, there we
through
go.
my birthday,
Wow.
which is the
29th?
25th.
Don't update.
I'm sorry.
You say 28th? I have a baseball game that night. 29th?
29th.
I might be able to do the 29th. I work night shift between the 28th and 29th, which usually means I get back in the morning and go to sleep. But I might be able to get up and play. Hold on, let me.
I think there's some July dates for Thursdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But I think you have class, right?
As long as it's not the week of the
I
18th
didn't put my class on there, but
of July.
put it on my own calendar. I
Right
can
before.
So shoot for June 29th.
June
Sounds
29th.
like
do that.
3 weeks from today.
29th, I'll confirm.
Baseball game.
And this is the second time I've attempted to create a really cool fight, and you just trounce it. Like
It was a cool
nothing.
fight.
Listen, Andrew, I liked the fight, and I liked the precursor to the fight too. I thought it was an
Really
interesting.
fighted it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I just want. Whenever I have a big bad and he has these cool abilities and gets to use them once, it's very disappointing.
Oh, yeah.
Then
I
it
feel
was
ya.
just a sludge that got to wail on you for a little bit.
Yeah,
You did at least paralyze me.
I think
Yeah,
what
leave the
Phoenix
bar
did like
calendar.
30 some damage to the
Yeah,
noggin,
you
and I was
availability.
like, oh well, this isn't going to be fun anymore.
Show up.
And then when you guys resisted absolutely everything, when those little dragons kept trying to charm you,
Yeah,
it's like,
that's-
come on, guys.
that would have been a little frustrating, I can imagine. But
I feel your pain.
So my data class actually got moved to Monday, Wednesday again, and I gave up and I just canceled my volleyball game because it'd be another 6 months to wait. So I am free Thursdays in general.
Okay. I think there's some Thursdays coming up here. So
Thursdays are generally open for me.
July 5th, 6 days after June 29th.
Yeah, I was saying that.
Son of a bitch.
I'm leaving for the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Oh, you guys are trying to do schedule 2 now?
Just see-
No, here's-
It looks like July is a lot opener, a lot more open.
Were we good for the 29th?
People probably
But
also
I
have
think-
an
I don't
updated
think-
schedule for July.
No.
Yeah, I don't think Seth has put his dates in for July yet. So.
I wouldn't
I'm
know.
not- okay, I'll do that when we're done here. I'll try and put some of them in. See how many I can get in before I go to bed.
Baseball ends on the 28th, so I don't have any Tuesday, Thursday stuff going on anymore. Or
Sweet.
Wednesday or Sunday.
So we are thinking 29th for next one.
Yeah, it sounds like I put it on my calendar officially. So for now, I'm still coming here. I'll be here that day.
Yeah.
We're not hosting D&D.
You might be outside here that day.
Nope.
I'm just gonna stop the broadcast and we'll actually like.
Okay,